And we're live. Hello, hello, hello to my YouTube family. This is your boy Marquise. I'm only live on Friday nights, and no one can do it quite like me. I finally found a way to fuse my YouTube family with my TikTok family. So tonight, we will all be coming together to discuss sinners and everything about it. I have a pile of things to discuss, 9 topics. That I have, and then whatever my panel wants to add to it. We're going to do a brief overview. We're going to discuss music, vampires, religion, passing, appropriation, racism, ownership, the post credit scene, which I think is very important, and is this film anti-Christian? Because we're getting a lot of flack about that online. So come on in. If you're on the YouTube side, I need you to hit that thumbs up as you're coming into the room, and let me know that you are here. I'm finally able to type back, so let me know that you're here so I can shout you, my YouTube family out. We're past the 6,000K subscriber mark, and I'm super excited about that. So thank you all for hitting that subscribe button and becoming part of my YouTube family. Let me know that you can hear me okay. And I'm about to go in with my TikTok friends. I hope I hit everything, and I don't think I did. Give me just a second. I had all this stuff set up, and then this app decided to kick it all out. Let me change the audience. We do not want children. And set my goals. Is it already set? Cool. We're good. And we are ready to go. All right, Michelle. Hello. How you doing? I had a bit of a family emergency, which is why I am late tonight, but I will make up the time, being that I am a little bit late. I'll tell you offline what was going on, Michelle. You would not even believe it. All right. TikTok family and my YouTube family. Thank you all for joining me. Do I look okay on YouTube, Michelle? Am I still brown, or have I grayed out again? Hello. Tonight is for the sinners. The film, not the people, but we all are sinners. So we're going to discuss that. We have a lot to unpack here. I'm live right now on YouTube and TikTok. So hello to my YouTube family. I'm getting things a little bit better over there. It's looking less and less ghetto each and every time I see Michelle saying that I am okay. How's the sound? Am I okay on YouTube? I hope so. All right, folks, we have a lot to unpack here. Ooh, that's a friend I hadn't seen in a while. I am not filtered. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. That's my friend out of Chicago. R. Kelly tried to talk to her back in the day, and that is how I know her. I hadn't seen her in a while. Good to see you tonight. We are talking sinners. Listen, folks, if you have not already seen the film, and you don't want more, if you then you might want to click off, because we're doing spoilers. We're going all in. I watched this film yesterday. Was that Friday? Yesterday. All my days tend to blend together. Today's Friday, so I saw it Thursday. In a I saw it at the matinee, so there weren't very many people there, and good, because I was talking back to the screen. So we're going to unpack sinners. I have 9 topics that I want to talk about, so I can only imagine what you guys have to say. I am waiting on my my good brother Thor, to join me here on TikTok. He says that he saw the film 4 times. I only saw it once, but in the one time that I saw it, we have a lot to unpack. We're going to be discussing music, spirits, vampires, religion, passing, appropriation, cultural appropriation, racism, ownership, the post credit scene, which I think is very important, and even the color of their hats was important in this film. The twins, blue and red, and finally, is this film anti-Christian? Because I've seen a lot of backlash here about the people just discouraging people that are of the faith or Christians not to watch the film at all. So we have a lot to unpack here. I'm going to go ahead and open up my boxes and we're just going to dive right in. Let's get the tapping that screen. I want to try to wait until we get close to that 10K mark before I start yapping because I don't like to repeat myself, and that's all it turns into. I'm not thrown onto the FYP until we hit that 10K mark. So I need you guys to start tapping that screen up, and if you can, share me out 2, 3, or 4 of your friends so they can be a part of the discussion as well. Let me know that you guys can hear me, and we're going to get this thing started. I'll shout you guys out as we are moving those likes up. And let me go ahead and get these boxes set. There we go. No, I won't. I don't want this one. I don't want that one yet. I want the other one. All right. It's all right. It's all right. There we go, looking all professional. All right, how you doing tonight? Sharon, good to see you. Welcome to the room. Let's get the tapping that screen. Let's move it on up to that 10K mark. All my people on the YouTube side, welcome, welcome, welcome. The good part about YouTube is the only thing I need you guys to do is to hit that thumbs up one time as you're coming in the room, and you're good for the whole night. Unfortunately, my people on TikTok got to be a little stronger with the thumbs. So let's get the tapping. Tap, tap, tap it up. When you get tired, let it go. It'll flash a nice set of hearts across the screen. It lets the algorithm know that what we're discussing and what we're doing is important, and other people need to be a part of it. It helps to support the show. It helps to get, excuse me, some of my other content out because TikTok has been extraordinarily stingy here lately. So, also, people, if you are new to me, I'm only here on Friday nights, 8:30 Central Standard Time until midnight. I'm a little late. I had a family emergency, but I'm here to do my job. So thank you guys in advance. If you're here 2 minutes, 2 hours of the entire show, just know that you are loved by me and you're loved by God, even if you don't believe in him. So with that, if you see me on the FYP, that's where it's important. Like, share, comment, and interact with the videos and watch them in full. They're only a minute. I only ask for about a minute of your time. So when you see me there, check me out. It looks like we got some guests already requesting to come up. We don't typically open the boxes until we hit that 10K mark. Also, my mother is in the chat. She doesn't allow me to talk to strangers. So Mr. Is this Vagel? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Steamson, Mr. or Mrs. Steamson. I'm not sure is that male or female. No offense. But I'm not allowed to talk to strangers. So you have to be one of my friends in order to get in the box. So hit that button, become part of my friend list, or more importantly, become part of my TikTok family. And you're more than welcome to join me on the box. How are you, friend? I'm doing just fine, Dinosaur. We're here to discuss Sinners. Please tell me you've watched it. I'm hoping that we get enough people in the room to have a real lively discussion on this thing. It's very, very good film, in my opinion. But I have lots and lots to discuss about it. What I like about Ryan Coogler is that his films are often gigantic think pieces. And they are meant to entertain and educate, enlighten, much like my show here on Friday nights. But most importantly, they're meant to spark not controversy, but spark conversations. And I have about 9, 10 that are outlined. So we're going to discuss them all, as many of them as we can get to. How you doing, Miss Carla? Good to see you. Let me check on my YouTube people. I only see Michelle in the room. All right, my YouTube people, where you at? Where you at? All right, I hope everybody can hear me good. Volume. Tic tac toe. All right. I'm doing very, very well, Dinosaur. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's get the tapping that screen, folks. Oh, let me share this thing out. Let these people know I'm here. I haven't, but I'm going to see it Tuesday, the weekend. It'll be sold out. Oh, okay, Dinosaur. You may want to tap on out tonight because we're doing spoilers. We're going to discuss this film start to finish. I am not waiting on you guys to see the film at this point. So I don't mind it being a light show tonight. I want to discuss it with everybody. And if you don't want me to spoil it for you, then I'll hate to see you go. But yeah, you can go ahead and tap out because I'm going to be discussing this film in its totality. Hello, hello, hello from Mississippi. How you doing, Miss Erica? Please tell me you've seen Sinners. If not, you're gonna hear all about it tonight. Okay. I'm warning people ahead of time. This is going to be a spoiler filled live. So if you don't want it spoiled, then you might want to go ahead and tap out. It's probably gonna be a light night tonight because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys haven't seen it. I'm waiting on Thor to get here. He saw it 4 times. I only saw it once. All right, let me let my people know I am here. I am late, but I am here. Hold on. Where's Thor? Miss Fat. All right, Miss Tina, Africa. All right, tell me you guys have seen this film. Those that are already here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please let me know that you've seen Sinners, or if you will be seeing Sinners. Let me ask it that way. All right, I've shared myself out. Let me get Thor because he assured me he was going to be here tonight. Where you at, Thor? Why are you not coming up in the main list? Thor. There you go, Thor. And you're live. I mean, you're here. I don't know. Crystal, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Please tell me you've seen Sinners. If not, I'm going to spoil it for you. I heard it was good. My son said he want to see it. Erica, it's a great film. I don't know how old your son is, but it's definitely an adult film through and through. So for those who haven't seen it, it's very very much an adult film. So keep that in mind when you're going to see it. I'm gonna check this light. That doesn't help me. All right. Oh, he's 24. Okay, he's good. He's good. Maybe a couple of scenes there that may make you uncomfortable. I'm always uncomfortable when I'm watching films with my mom and certain things are going on, you know. So there are about 3 of those scenes in this film. So fair warning for you and your son. May have to cover his eyes a couple times. I haven't heard anyone say they didn't like it. You know, you're not going to hear that tonight. Yeah, I liked it as well. I thought it was a very well put together film. Yeah, Erica, I'm just saying, cover the baby eyes. There are 3 scenes that you're gonna just cover the baby eyes. You're too young for that. Michael was on, but Haley made it come together. No, yeah, Michael. Michael B. Jordan, what are you talking? He carried that film. What are you talking about? No, this was probably one of his finest performances. I must say, he played a set of twins in the film. He played both twins as well. So he was great. He was great through and through as both twins. I enjoyed everybody's performance. I must say, everybody was pretty good. Black Panther. Hold on now. We're about to fall out walking in. Black Panther. Don't come in here talking bad about Black Panther. Black Panther was it. The first one and the second one. Me and my family dressed up for both. We had all black on the first time for the first Black Panther, and we wore all white to the second one. So yeah, no, we're not gonna accept that. All right. Are we friends yet? Theme son, we're still not friends, so I can't let you up. Crystal, are you coming up tonight? We're only at 1K. Let's get to tapping that screen, folks. We're gonna move this thing up to that 10K mark. Crystal, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. Welcome back. Tell me you saw Sinners. I hope you have. I'm pretty sure you haven't.
Yes, I did.
You saw it. Oh, my sincerest apology. Yo, y'all might as well leave. You gonna leave? I am not holding back tonight.
Who said that? I heard you reading the comment. Said that she did what?
She did.
Michael played twins. He did an excellent job.
Well, yeah,
It was two people.
they said that Halle was they felt like Halle did, I guess, carried the film in their opinion. I'm sorry. This
I'm not even gonna comment on it.
I'm not going there. That was my favorite. I'm sorry. He was spectacular. Loved him as both twins. You know what I mean? Especially the twin, especially the one that ended up passing. You know what I mean? That was, oh god. Oh, that was such a touching part of the film. We're gonna get into all of it. Like I said, I got about 9 topics I want to hit. I'm trying to give people time to get here and to get those taps up. So let's get the taps up closer to the 10K mark. I'm gonna give a few more minutes for people to get in the room, and then we're gonna dive into this discussion. We got to talk about music. We got to talk about the spirits. We got to talk about the vampires, the religion, the past, and the cultural appropriation, the race, the racism, the ownership, the post credit scene, which I think is one of the most powerful and most simplified but important pieces of the entire work. And then the post, there's a post and then a post. The post I actually enjoyed more than the post because, to me, it spoke to Christians as a whole. We got 4 people on the YouTube side, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that is awesome without any warning. So welcome to all my YouTube people. It's Marquise. I'm here live on TikTok and YouTube tonight. I see 4 people in this room. I need you guys to do me a huge favor and tap that thumbs up button on the YouTube side so that YouTube can push me out in the algorithm so more people can discover me. I'm only live on TikTok and YouTube on Friday nights, 8:30 Central Standard Time until midnight, where we discuss any and everything. Tonight, we're discussing Sinners. If you haven't seen the film and you don't want it spoiled for you, go ahead and leave. I don't mind it being but a couple people here tonight or just the people that saw it, unless you're comfortable with me spoiling this thing, because I'm going to break this thing down from the rooter to the tutor. Thank you so much for that thumbs up. And please let me know who you are so I can speak to you on the YouTube side. If I'm glancing that down, both my cameras are above me, but my laptop is below me. So in order for me to read the comments on the YouTube side, I have got to look down. So I'll be bouncing up and down right now. I got to give my YouTube people some attention. How you doing tonight? You have a username that looks like a jailhouse number. So Mr. or Mrs. YMB858, thank you so much for joining me on YouTube. We're going to be discussing Sinners. Please tell me you've watched it. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Marquise. I'm only live on on Friday nights, 8:30 Central Standard Time. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I have excellent content. Some of it is unique to YouTube. All of it is available. Well, most of it is available on TikTok, but there's some things that are just exclusively to YouTube. So check that out. And please, thank you so much for the love. And thank you for hitting that thumbs up on the YouTube side. For my people up here, you all know what to do on this TikTok. Tap that screen. We're only at 2,000 likes. We got 11 people in the room. As soon as the scene gets lively, this room lights up, and then I have to start taking commercial breaks. So in order for me not to have to do that, just do me a favor and continue to tap the screen, keep the conversation rolling in the comment section. I do shout people out. I do pause the show. I do read each and every comment. Well, not each and every, but the important comments. And everybody who is a friend of mine is welcome in the chat. You guys can be heard on both platforms at this time, so make sure that you're speaking clearly. The film, this is coming from my YouTube side now. I'm just going to call you 858 for the duration of this show. The film was amazing. I am going for a second viewing tomorrow. I'm waiting on my boy Thor to get here. He said he saw the film 4 times this week. I've only saw it once, but I absolutely agree with you, 858. It was an excellent film. Again, I got a list of things that we've got to discuss. And I want you to be much a part of it as well, because it's so deep. What I love about it is just so many layers to this film to unpack. And we're going to do our best to try to tackle as many of these topics and whatever else you want to add to it as well. So you've already given me your first impressions. We're going to go ahead and open up the show. Please continue to tap, people. Let's move this thing up to that 10K mark. Crystal and Silver Lining, welcome once again to my show on Friday nights. I would like to know what were your first or overall impressions of Sinners? We'll start with you, Miss Crystal. What were your first impression or your overall impressions?
I am speechless. What's his name? Ryan Coogler?
Ryan Coogler, sorry.
Oh, goodness, he did an excellent job. And then I was over there on Facebook. I had to get off because He has some haters over there.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're on TikTok as well.
Couple of them. Somebody wasn't good. I had to get off.
Yeah. The what's getting me is the people that are trying to make this. Oh my God, there's subliminals here that are trying to turn you against your Christian faith, and I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
what film did you all watch? And my thing is, if something as simple as a movie is enough to challenge your faith or to make you want to leave your Christian faith or go back or join another religion, then you weren't much of a Christian to begin with. That's the way I feel about it. And I hate that people have their picks and chooses over what they feel is so negative towards their spirit. If you feel this way about it, thank you so much for that gift, Crystal. If you feel that way about this film, then you got to feel the same way about everything Tyler Perry has put out. He's in a dress. so if this bothers your spirit, him prancing around in a dress in a wig should also bother your spirit, because that's not of God either.
I like that it was an original.
I love that it was an original film. Absolutely.
Original, movies coming out is something that's replay of an old movie, and I just like that it was original and how well it did in the box the first week.
Oh yeah, and
Did you see that?
Yeah, and what's so funny is how people are the critics now. It's got like a 99 or 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is just completely unheard of. But you have some critics that are saying, "Oh my gosh," because this was a $90 million movie budget, and I think it made about 90 or 60 million within the first 3 days. And they was like, "Oh, it hasn't even met. It hasn't even broken even." You know what I'm saying? And there have been films that with primary white casts that have. What's bad is there have been films with white casts that have made less on a bigger budget. But when they wrote it up, it's like, hey, it is roaring towards whatever the budget was. But when they gave it to us, you had to make it a negative. So I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that one bit. Okay, I'm sorry.
The movie was excellent.
It was a great film. Okay, we have a couple of people that are waiting. Listen, in order for you to join in the boxes, I need you guys to become part of my TikTok family. You have to hit that button and be one of my friends in order to be in the box. You're more than welcome to come in the box as soon as you have done so. All right, Miss Silverlining, welcome to the conversation. How you doing tonight? I've been seeing you on the FYP here lately, so congratulations to that.
Yeah, I just started putting out some more content.
Very good. Very good. All right, we are ready for your first impressions or your overall impressions of Sinners.
Well, I heard about it before, and I was like, what I heard at first, I was like, I don't really want to go see this movie, but I work weekends, so I don't really get a chance to go see the movie.
Okay.
But I've been watching clips, and I've been watching your videos. And from what I see so far, I like it. Because it's just like in my opinion, it's an honest depiction of what happens.
You have to go see it though.
Yeah, one of these days I'll be able to, but I work weekends, and where I live, I have to take buses, and they don't run 24/7.
Got you.
So I'm gonna have to catch it when it come on DVD or live streaming or whatever. So I catch it on one of these platforms.
They don't have Uber where you live?
Uber from my house to the movie theater is like $40.
Oh, we might have to donate that to you. It's a good film.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to.
I might have to get you Uber on my little points.
For real. You got to see this one. You got to see it. I was waiting on Thor to get here. He said he saw the film 4 times, so I wanted him to come up and help me with the discussion.
I had a friend that went 3 times, and she caught something all 3 times.
Exactly.
I need to go back then.
Yeah, it's one. But I feel that way about most of his films. The more you watch it, the more you get from it. You know what I'm saying? So I will definitely watch it again. I'm not paying to watch it again. The only reason I wouldn't pay to watch it again because I had to go watch it by myself. I went to the big theater in my area. But I had to go. But my daughter and my wife don't like horror movies at all. Anything scary. Yeah.
I have some people like that too.
Yeah. So I basically had to watch it by myself, which is fine. It just feels a little strange sometimes. But yeah, with my daughter, if a Disney princess isn't involved, she's not gonna be there. So I can get my wife to watch a little bit more, but my daughter is just a no. So they all were at home, and I was sitting there alone, and like I said, with nobody to discuss the film with. Thank you all. We're at the 3.5K taps. Let's keep on tapping that screen. People are finally starting to arrive in the room. We got 19 people in the room. Let's try to get it on up to that 10K mark. I'm shouting you guys out. Believe you me, if you're writing in excuse me, if you write it in the comments, I'm going to take time and read it. I am live streaming right now from TikTok and YT, so I have to take time out to shout out my people over there and to make sure that they're included in the show as well. We got 3 people over on the YouTube side. I need you guys to hit that thumbs up button for me if you can. Thank you so much for that gift. I appreciate it so very much. Baby 07. All right, and it looks like I don't like scary movies either, but I made it through. Did you think it was scary? I only jumped twice during the film. The first time I jumped was when the snake was coiled up in the trunk and he jumped out, and snakes, I detest them.
When he grabbed, what's his name, grabbed Snake's hand.
Yeah. So that
I didn't really jump after that.
Yeah, I know. And the only other time that I jumped during the film was when the main vampire flew for the first time, when he floated up to grab, and I can't remember her name. I'm just gonna call her light skin, the biracial character. If you guys can give me the name, it would be great, because I'm gonna call her by. That's all I can remember her as, the biracial character. Is that Haley? Determine how you doing tonight.
You just came on?
I was I've been on for maybe 20, let's see, I came on 9:40, so about 30 minutes now. I had a bit of a family emergency, so it caused me to be a little bit behind, but I'm here now. Please tell me you have seen this. Yeah, it will be, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah,
I kept checking. I was like, I don't even remember.
Please tell me you've seen this film.
The Sinner? No.
You're not gonna watch it?
I'm still on the fence.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
is it demonic-ish?
What do you mean by demonic-ish? Well, they're vampires that are in the film. So I guess if
y'all can keep talking about it. Is that why you asking me?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, y'all go ahead, because I won't remember anyway.
Oh yeah, it's a spoiler.
You said you won't remember?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah. There it is. There are vampires in it, and there are various religious aspects in the film as well. So yeah, I guess you can consider it
wasn't scary at all.
No, it wasn't scary though.
It was good.
It was a great film. I thought so.
It was excellent.
All right. Hold on. I got to grab this comment from the YouTube side. We got 6 people on the YouTube side. So, okay, the numbers are climbing. I got to pause and read this comment. This is one that's coming from 858. My overall impression, this was an original masterpiece that touches on so many topics: the imagery, the music, and the representation. All these things are on my list to discuss tonight. Okay, so these are topics that I was able to gather from watching this film. Music, spirits, vampire, religion, passing, cultural appropriation, race and racism, ownership, the post credit scene, which I got to take a moment to really tell you guys how important that was, and how great it felt for me as a Christian. The colors of the hats are the colors that the twins wore throughout. That was also very important. And then the big question of the night: is this film anti-Christian? Because it's causing a lot of controversy online, on YouTube, and especially here on TikTok. So those are the topics that I was able to gather, and that's what I love about Ryan Coogler films in general. To me, they're discussion pieces. They are think pieces. Just much like what I do in my content, and much what I do here on Friday nights. I love things, topics from I can expound, and I think that's what this film does an excellent job of. It introduces you to it. It doesn't answer for you. It lays it out on the table, and it leaves it up to you to make those decisions. So that's what we're going to do tonight. It's gonna be a great one. Gonna be a great one. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for in advance. And please believe this show is spoiler filled. So if you don't want me to ruin it for you, then please go ahead and show yourself to the door, and I'll be here next Friday night with something brand new. But tonight, it's all about the sinners.
All you gotta do is watch the doggone trailer, and you've been and watch the movie nowadays.
But I will say that this trailer did not give anything away. It really did. I think that trailer is how trailers are supposed to be. Give me enough to get me excited, but do not show the best of the film. Correct. Like they normally do. No, they did.
Is it a book too?
Is it a? Not that I know of. I know it's an original film, but I don't know. I don't think it's a book. Okay. Steamson, I need you to hit the button. You got to be one of my TikTok friends in order to get in the box. You keep requesting, but you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. So that's why I haven't let you up. All right. Where do we want to start? I want to start with the music. The music. What I loved about the music, and it's the same thing that I have been saying for a very, very long time. Music, all music carries a spirit within it, which is why although I do use it in my TikTok videos only for fun, when we have those songs where they're Christian songs or sacred songs, and they mix it with secular beats. And I have used it in my content to make points or to make jokes, but those are songs that I would never play in an actual church, and songs that I frown upon for being played in a church, because I do not simply feel like you can throw Jesus at the beginning and the end of a sentence and mix it with secular music and it somehow becomes sacred. That is my opinion. I think this job at illustrating just how music itself carries spirits. It carries spirits from the originator. It carries spirits from the past, the present, and it can even affect or will affect the future. And it was it was, thank you so much for that gift, TT. But it did such a beautiful job of just visually putting that to you guys. I hope you guys got that out of it as well. And that is why I must say I'm totally against secular music being played in churches or mixed with church music, because the spirit from which it originated is always going to be there. There's no way you're going to remix Tyrone to Call Jesus and I'm not going to feel in my spirit wherever Tyrone came from. I hope that makes sense to somebody.
Not Call Tyrone.
Oh, I've seen it. I've done a video with it. Somebody actually.
I know.
Yeah. But
the funny thing is, my mom, when it's time for her to go to bed, she likes to have noise. So I turn on the TV and she wants me to put it on 97.1 for the old school R&B.
Right.
And this evening when I turned it on, that's what song was playing.
Oh wow. So what are your thoughts on the secular and the sacred? Do you am I alone in believing that that music carries spirits within it?
No, you're not alone. I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now, in my headspace, in my Christian walk, all I listen to is Christian music. But I do like Christian music have several different genres within it. Mm-hmm. I listen to most of them, and but I don't like the secular stuff. Not all the secular stuff. Now, if you make a Christian song, but you add a beat to it that's going to catch somebody's attention that's not already attached to something else.
Correct.
That's okay.
I think so.
It's some content creators on here that does Christian music. He said, "I'm saved, but I'm still got a little ratchet in me."
Yeah.
But he mixes old school Christian with up-to-date hip-hop.
Yeah.
And I don't really like that because as soon as I hear the beat, I know the song.
Exactly. That's the spirit. Correct.
Exactly. I don't like that because it can be confusing.
I think so too.
You can't serve both guys. You can't have one foot out. And in that kind of situation, you're having one foot in and one foot out. But outside of that, like I said, if they make it a really good Christian song with a catchy beat that ain't already attached to something secular, that's a different story.
Yep.
That is a different story.
I like that. I totally agree with you. Now, listen, I love me some Christian music, but I am R&B through and through. So 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s R&B, I cannot let that go. So I'm I can't.
That's the only kind of secular music I will.
Right, but like that hard. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not mixing the two, and I also feel like if there's some music that I just don't want in my spirit at all, so I won't even allow it. But for me, R&B, I don't see the harm in R&B, but there's some people that are strictly gospel, and that's cool. But like I say, R&B for me, I don't see anything wrong with a good old love song. Again, I'm not out there searching, I'm not out there lusting. I have a wife, you know what I mean? So I don't see where the harm is in throwing on some a beautiful R&B.
I'm gonna tell you like this. To me, back though, the music from back in those days, that's when we had music. I don't know what they call this stuff we got now.
Exactly.
Because it definitely ain't music.
Exactly. Okay, Crystal, it's on you now. As we're diving into topic number one, what are your thoughts on the music piece of this film, being that you actually saw it?
I want the soundtrack.
Okay.
I like it.
I need you to answer the question with regards to the question with regards to. I know you remember the scene when they were in the juke joint, which reminded me of The Color Purple, and you start seeing.
Did it remind you of that?
Yeah, it did. It really did. But you saw him begin to play.
Did you notice how hold on 1 second.
Sure.
Did you notice how the ceiling was burning the whole time?
Oh yes, and it burned. The roof is on fire. Exactly. I saw that too. But in that, you saw how with him beginning to play and sing, how he was able to connect with the past, the present, and even the future musically. So the question is, do you feel like there are spirits that are carried within music, and if so, how do you feel about the secular being mixed with Christian music?
I liked it, but I will say there are certain songs nowadays that I feel like have a spirit attached to them.
Okay.
But the way they did it in this movie, I liked it altogether. To me, I liked it. Everybody's different. I thought it was okay.
Yes, but I guess what I'm getting at is with regards to the spiritual aspect, because it did have a spiritual aspect of it when he began to play, and you saw, and you saw it. You saw the Zulu, you saw the Chinese, you saw all you even saw with 80s style, a guy dressed like LL Cool J. You saw it all, and you even saw the girl twerking in today. You know what I mean? So what I'm getting at is your thoughts and opinions with regards to spirits being carried within the music. What are your thoughts on that? Blessings, Apostle. How you doing tonight?
That's why I don't listen to certain music. That's why I say I don't listen to certain music because of that.
Okay.
But my thoughts are. I don't know what my thoughts are.
Okay, we'll come back to you. TT, how you doing? What are your thoughts? Did you hear the question? I've asked it a couple times now. TT.
Yeah, I didn't see I'm sorry, I'm cooking. I didn't see the movie, like I said, but of course, I think music can definitely get into your spirit.
Yes.
Get into your psyche. It can provoke certain things, and people swear that's not true because they just want to justify it. But y'all give me an example, though. What do you mean? Like, what songs do that you're talking about?
Well, he was playing the blues, and when he began to play the blues, of course, there are beats and offbeats that are that are all tied into the began to play this blues, it basically connected all the way back to the beginning with the Zulu, and then they would cut throughout the scene of the film inside this club with various people. You would see the people in the club currently, but then you would see various people from different eras that would spin into the club, and they were connected to this same. They were connected in some way or shape with the music. You know what I mean? And so the yeah, so what they were basically, or what was basically being illustrated, is how music can move and connect generations and spirits from way back when, past, present, and future. Is basically how it was illustrated. And the second part of the question was with regards to sacred, mixing the sacred with the secular, which of course they do it often here on the app. And of course, I've used a couple of those songs to make points and to make jokes.
That's what I was asking for an example
of. Well,
everything from Kurt Franklin,
like basically.
Yes, that would be good. Yeah,
with the church music, what they're doing nowadays, they're mixing it with a rap beat or
yeah,
and you know what it's going to be when you hear the beat, and then they say something else. They're like remixing it.
Yeah.
I mean, and the funny part, if you Marquise, he always referencing Medea movies or Tyler Perry stuff. If you look at Tyler Perry plays, a lot of the characters in his plays, they do the same thing. Like especially in that play, one of the plays that I like, what is it? I Could Do Wrong by Myself. One of the Floyd character, he is remixing R&B songs and said you can make anything into a Jesus song, a Christian song. All you gotta do is put Jesus on.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, like, the world would say to each his own, but then again, I don't want to. When I'm in my praise and worship mode, which I do Mondays too, when I get up, I'm doing prayer. I'm doing
keep tapping the screen, folks.
Like journaling and just, being in the spirit on Mondays. So when I'm listening to my gospel and even the contemporary, that's where I need to be. I don't need to be in my breakdancing or my grinding to my Jamaican music from back in the day. I need to be there. So no, I don't want that mixed in with that. No, not for me.
Okay, and I think that's a good point. Again, I'm adamantly against putting secular beats or songs that have already been created with these beats and then just attaching Jesus to them. Call Tyrone is called Tyrone. You know what I mean?
I don't think there's a point in the movie what it's saying. If you allow me, where I'm
okay, well, you just jumped in and I was still talking, so you're gonna have to wait your turn.
Because I do like when somebody takes a popular secular song.
I don't.
And turn it fully into a Christian song.
I don't, because again, to me,
depends on how they do it.
No, Tyrone is Tyrone. I don't care how you put it. You call for me that was introduced to that beat and that song with Erykah Badu. I don't care how many times you say Jesus, I'm going to hear Tyrone. The spirit is going to connect with Tyrone. That is my personal belief. Feel free to disagree, but Tyrone is going to be Tyrone. Again, I'm not against contemporary gospel, but I need you guys to create the same God that gave the secular people secular beat should be able to give you a Christian beat that's original, that is not connected to the world. That is my thought.
That's what I'm saying. There's so sampling in music and sampling. no matter where you're at, it's not the entire beats. Okay, so when you do sampling, right?
Sir, I'm not talking about sampling. What I'm talking about is somebody taking a full beat, Tyrone, because I've heard it, and just laying new lyrics on it.
No, I'm saying that part of it was talking about how everything's a sample and connected. So when the guy was playing the blues, he was connecting back in spirituality in Africa. That's how you have the African people on the same beat, all the way to the people in the front. So all I'm trying to say is the circle of beats and connecting everyone. It's not saying take something spiritual and make it secular and spiritual. What all it's trying to say is the beat that Black people have are sacred beat from the drums all the way back in Africa all the way to now. We've always had this connection. The reason why someone can hit a note and you can start crying in the middle of a song. The reason why someone could start singing "Eyes on the Sparrow" and you start crying, and then someone could be in the middle of an Etta James and someone start crying, because music touches us in a certain way. And because we're spiritual people, we're connected. The same way why you can hear certain things right now and it can take you back to third grade. You see what I'm saying? Like you can be sitting there like, man, like, okay, like me. My mom used to always play like Club Nouveau when we used to wake up, that, Lean On Me, right? So anytime I hear that, it takes me back to getting up in the third grade, my mom getting me up playing Lean On Me. So I'm trying to say, our music can transcend time. And that's all I was getting at it.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but you missed the original question. You just jumped in.
I heard what your question was. Well, what you're saying is
well, no, that wasn't even the original question. The original question was, does music carry spirits?
Yes, it does.
Okay, that was the original. That is the caveat for this.
What I'm saying is, the actual music of the lyrics carry it, but what I'm saying is the beat itself, or the sampling of drums that we've always had in our spiritual family, has always been there. That's all I'm trying to say. That's the same thing. If you look at,
sir, you're not saying anything differently. You're just wording it differently.
I'm saying every single one of it's the reason why that all of our major artists all find their home back in the church, right? Everything finds its way back in the church. We look at Aretha Franklin with C.L. Franklin. Her dad found his way back in the church. We've always had this circular meaning that always took us back to the church.
Not every artist is originated in the church. You're talking about your experience in black artists. Well, that's not true. That's not everybody.
I think what he was actually trying to say with his question was, do you think it's okay for somebody to take a song that is not secular and take a song that is not secular? They keep the beat, but they change all the words. He was not talking about the origin of the beat. He's talking about the lyrics, the words that come in the song. Because they changing the word. They keep the beat exactly like it is and just put new words onto it. That's what he's talking about. You're arguing a point that nobody's even arguing. We actually agree with you, but you're still arguing.
Okay, so what you're saying is, he's asking if you take I wouldn't.
You said the example, Tyrone.
I just told you, Tyrone.
Okay, but I just say like okay, Pumps in the Bump by doggone your MC Hammer.
Yes.
And then someone using that same beat and coming in the church. Yeah, I think that's ludicrous.
But they do it. But they do it all the time. They do it all the time. They do it all the time.
But who allows it?
What do you mean? Oh, my church wouldn't allow it.
I'm saying a lot of times
some churches do allow it.
My church wouldn't allow it.
I've seen it. There's churches that allow it because they're gonna think they're gonna get more offering.
See,
they think they can get a good choir to sing a song over that. It's gonna have more people come in. I mean, well, the thing is, the standard of the churches fell.
Yeah, I believe that.
I don't blame you.
I don't say the standard of the church has failed. The problem is people are compromising. You're attempting to fill seats instead of trying to save souls. So, and that is total. Oh yeah, but
I agree with that.
fewer called, a lot of called and fewer chosen.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they just call to the money and the paycheck, and they doing whatever it is to make their paycheck bigger.
Yeah.
But the ones that are chosen are the ones that God put in to help build His kingdom. So it's totally different wherever you go, but you can't just blame it completely on the church because it's the people in it.
Right, but what I'm saying, but you can't. I'm saying, but if the church bringing in secular people, I'm saying you can't blame the secular people. Who you gonna blame?
The church.
Exactly. The church is using a secular beat. It's not the secular people gonna do what secular people do.
Okay.
That's why he said.
I mean, but the church folks are doing it now.
Right, exactly.
I've seen pastors doing church boots on the ground inside the church. Again, I'm all for line dancing, but I would never do it inside of a church.
So that's what I'm saying.
I would never do it inside of a church.
The church has moved their needle. In other words, instead of the church influencing the secular is influencing church.
I agree. That I agree with. I do agree with that.
All right, y'all have a good night. But my bad, I didn't get what you were saying at the very beginning. So
oh man, I got like 9 more topics. You're cool. All right, thank you. All right, folks. We're going to.
Our numbers are down. Look at how many people in this room. This is not normal.
I know it. Like I say, I'm assuming people are just passing by us because we're doing spoilers.
Maybe they thought you weren't coming on because you was a little late.
Yeah.
Well, he was on YouTube.
They should know to always come back and look because we always here.
We come.
I was on it.
He did a story saying on YouTube. I was going over there.
Exactly. Yep. I put out the story to let you guys know I was coming. So, all right, folks.
We're not talking about Carmelo Anthony. That's what it really is.
Say it again. Let him have a break because I was tired of covering it. I really was.
Yes.
I'm excited to talk about something else.
Every time I get on TikTok, I don't care what day it is, there's at least 15 or 16 lives with them 2 boys' pictures up there. What do y'all think? Texas Law is this. What do y'all think? How y'all think?
Yep. Look, I was in the barbershop today. And I had to catch myself. It was you're welcome. It was an older white guy that was sitting in the chair. And so my barber is black. He's an older white guy sitting in the chair. And I was playing on my phone, trying to mind my business because my mouth. My mouth and my face is always dangerous. So the guy, he went to talking and that's what's wrong with the world today. The kids just weak. Y'all don't know how to take a whooping. That's what the problem is. And I looked up and gave that man the look of unalive. And I had to catch myself. I was like, you know what? He's not talking to me, and I'm not in the mood. So I'm just going. I let him live. I'm like, I don't want this man to have to lose a customer in here. I'm just gonna leave him. I'm gonna let him live. I'm like, but you see it as that, where I see it as we shouldn't have to have an environment where my child got to take a whooping. How about that? You know what I'm saying? I'm like that. You are part of the problem, but you not. I won't see you again, so it's fine, Mr. Man. Just go on. Just don't say it to me because I'm a clown. All right, folks.
I would have said something, probably put me out.
All right, folks. I thank you all. Oh, it was bad. All right, we're starting to get people to roll in here. Thank you all. We've hit our first goal of the night. We've crossed the 10K mark. Let's keep tapping that screen. And please keep the comments going on YouTube and TikTok. I read them all. So this is a spoiler-filled show. If you haven't seen it and don't want it spoiled, then you want to go ahead and keep going. But if you don't mind it getting spoiled, if you've seen it, come on and jump in because we're talking about all of it tonight. I want to talk about
must-see movie.
It's a great film. Very, very good film. All right. Ellis. There we go. Here's a friend of mine coming up. Look, Steam Son, if you want to come up, you got to be one of my friends. Ellis, how you doing tonight?
Hello.
How do we pronounce your first name? I didn't want to mess it up.
Miracle.
Say it again. Rierico. Very good. All right. Please tell me you've seen this film.
Oh my goodness, I've never seen the film.
You saw it. Good. Give me your overall impressions, and then I'm only on topic one. I have 10 different topics that I was able to pull out of this one film. So you missed the first one, so I'm gonna let you hit it, and then we'll move on to the second one. Go ahead, but first of all, give me your overall thoughts of the film.
Historically accurate.
Okay.
In a way that is, in a way that movies about reconstruction have never been this precise and factual in how different races related in the Mid-South.
Okay.
Historically accurate. And also, it's here's the thing. I saw Sinners right after I got off the plane from Florida. Went down with my family, had to come back up to catch a visiting. So I came up by myself, and I ended up watching Wicked on the flight back.
Mm-hmm.
And I am in my creative summating brain came up with something here. Because I'm going to go back to the Carmelo Anthony case. Sinners and Wicked. Now I'm gonna throw them all together into one pot.
Please not. Can we not do Carmelo? I spent the last month of lives on Carmelo. I don't want to hear anything about him tonight.
It's not necessarily going to be about him, but it's going to be about a pattern that I've noticed.
Okay.
In Sinners, one of the main issues in the story is that the vampires had to be invited in.
Yes.
They had to be invited in.
Mm-hmm.
And in being invited in, there's an aspect, a spiritual aspect about having to be in control of space when you're not authorized to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The vampires need to be invited in order to have unauthorized access to a space that they shouldn't have had. In Wicked, Elphaba was given access because of her talent into a space where people who had access to that land, who shouldn't have had it because it was for the animals, ended up taking over and was dominating the natural order of the land for the animals. And Elphaba was tricked into modifying the animals, but was a friend of the animals. It had to do with the wizard wanting to control the space. Carmelo, and the issue with Carmelo is that boy was told to move out of a place because the other boy thought that he had the right to tell him about that space. See, there's something demonic about an unauthorized need, a lust to control the space that you don't have the right to control. The vampires were vampires because a demon occupied those bodies. It was an unauthorized use of space. It's a really consistent theme, and it kind of blew my mind.
Okay. Very good. All right. Oh, I'm getting an echo. Who is it from? I think we got an echo. I think it's you, Ellis. Unmute for me.
Hello?
Testing. Yeah, you have an echo. I need you to drop and come right back. I'm going to drop you and come right back up. Come on back, Ellis. This movie sent out a serious message. And what message did you get out of it? I have quite a few messages that I think this film brought out. I'm waiting on Ellis to get back because I'm trying to get him. I really am anxious to hear what his thoughts were on the on my first topic, which we've already covered. Come on back, Ellis.
I like what he was saying. I saw the correlation of where he was going.
Very good. Very good. Where you at, Ellis? Come on back. I don't know where he is. Ellis, did you leave? Ellis. I don't see him. All right. In the meantime, let's go. Let's talk. Well, he introduced it. I'm really wishing he would come on back. Vampires, the vampire lore and aspect of this film. I thought the vampires were handled really, really well. I was a little bit disappointed that the vampires just stuck to the basic vampire rules and tropes that we are all so used to seeing: garlic and steaks and silver, that sort of thing. I was a little bit disappointed in that, but I thought that they were as realistic as you could be with regards to vampires. I did like the aspect of them obviously having to be invited in, but then taken over as soon as they walked in, which is a great point that Ellis was just making. I wish he would come back and continue on, but I don't know where he is at this point. What were your impressions and thoughts around the vampires, Crystal?
I didn't think they were scary.
No.
But I thought it was the devil.
No, I did think they were quite demonic. And here's the thing: when we first see the very first, because they're a set of indigenous people. I guess I'll call them Indians. I hope that's not offensive to anybody.
No, somebody else said that. No.
Okay, that they were actually attempting to hunt down the first one. And he was basically on fire because the sun was coming up, and this YT family who were part of the clan took him in, and they were trying to save them from this particular vampire. And the YT family, who are racist, lied and basically said he's not here, blase blase. And the Indians were like, oh, we know he here, but we just gonna go, and they left. And the vampire basically turned both of them into vampires. You know what I mean? So I thought that entire scene was really, really well done. But thank you so much for that. I appreciate it, Crystal. But the thing about it is, did you see that he seemed to have fallen into that place? Like to me, it felt like he fell from the sky. And I felt like, to me, and I may be reading a little too much into it, it felt intentional. Because when we talk about demons and the devil, that sort of thing, because I thought he was a representation of Satan even more than. Thank you so much. You beat me to it. Somebody in the chat, Miss Bree, you know exactly where I'm going with this. He fell out of the sky. And to me, he felt more like Satan than actually a vampire. And obviously, if you guys are
that's how I felt.
Correct.
I said the devil.
Correct.
And the person I was sitting next to, she was whispering, and I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, because he fell out of the sky, just like a fallen angel. Because God, if you guys don't know, the devil was the closest angel. He you know what I mean? He was the closest to God, and he fell because he wanted to take over. Another point that Ellis made. So, I don't know. He didn't come back. I was hoping he'd come back, but that is what I gathered from that, and it was reinforced in me when we got to the point where they were praying. I don't know if you remember that scene where right before he ended up being unalived, him and all the rest of the vampires, the main character, the good twin, was praying the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
And then he began to recite the Lord's Prayer as well. And so did all of the vampires. I'm like, of course he would know the Lord's Prayer and he would hold it dear to his heart, because once upon a time he served that same God. So to me, it was more proof that we were dealing with not a vampire.
It looks like he was asking God to forgive him.
No, I don't see that at all. I didn't get that at all. I think it was a taunt.
It took him back to when he knew the Lord.
Yeah, I think it was more taunting, that guy, to say it doesn't matter what you're praying. I got you now. To me, that's what it felt like. But
it took him back.
I don't. Not to me. I didn't get it that way. I got it as, hey, I know those words. I prayed those same prayers. Ha ha ha. I got you now. I got you now.
You have to remember, with the word they said, the devil know the word just as well as we do.
Exactly. That's is
why they tell you. I see how when you praise a God, they tell you to hum, because the devil don't know what that means.
Exactly. Very good, Bree. So that was my take that I wanted to bring in on that relief. But like I said, when he fell from the sky, I'm like, this is Satan. Yeah, we can identify it as a vampire because that, we of the world, or we in that our mindset are able to connect with that. Yes. But yeah, to me he was a representation of Satan. I thought so.
People that didn't get it, they didn't get it.
Yeah, I thought so. I absolutely thought so. Let's see, where do we want to go from here? Oh, race and racism. I bet you that'll get some people in the room.
Like a lot of people were saying that. What was Haley playing? A black woman or a white woman? You have to remember, she was raised up in the South around all them.
No, she was actually black. She was just biracial. Her grandfather was half white, so she was black.
But they were saying
she's just light skinned.
She was mixed, whatever.
Yeah.
But even if she was raised up around all that.
Yeah.
They knew her since she was little.
Yeah, she was passing though, because she was in love with the twin, but the twin wanted a better life for her. So because she was so fair skinned, she was able to pass as white.
You got that.
Yeah, she was able to pass as
around her because he loved her so much, he told her to stay away from him.
Right, and she was married to a well-off white guy. So in order to be, if she were to be caught with a black man in that juke joint, it would blow her cover. She would no longer be able to pass, and they would lynch her. So it was a danger for her to be in that juke joint or to be around him. But I thought all of that was well.
Some wasn't getting that.
Yeah,
like somebody was talking about on Facebook, because they had this, like I said, a couple people was talking about it.
Yep.
And they were saying, "Oh, I didn't like that scene. I like the scene with Amy better." All that. They didn't understand.
Yeah, I
twins.
Yeah, I love
different people.
Yeah, I love that. I love that aspect of the film. You know what I mean?
I did too.
Yeah,
it was just good.
And what really got me was when they were in the club and they, the vampires were trying to get in, and of course they're all white, so or Irish, and so the vampires are like, well, you can't come in, blase, and they was like, well, how she get in? And they were like, well, she's family. You know what I mean? I thought that part made me laugh, because of course she looks like one of us. So how is she able to get in this club and we can't get in? You know what I mean? Yeah. I thought that was cool.
I don't know if you remember me saying it, Marquise, but my mama and her sisters passed.
Oh, okay.
And they were told not to marry dark-skinned black men.
Mm-hmm.
Not because they didn't want them to marry black folks, but because the children could come out
darker. Exactly.
And be in danger of living.
Correct. You blow that cover, it is over for you. It was a very dangerous game to play. You know what I mean? And
but one thing that I realized back then is it didn't matter if you had two fair-skinned black people making kids. Those kids could come out with the gene pool of the generations before them, and they could be darker.
That's true.
But guess what? Mostly all the kids came out dark, and they did marry dark-skinned men.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Very cool. Okay, we got a new guest in the building. How you doing tonight, Miss Janice? Welcome to the conversation. Please tell me you've seen Sinners. Excuse me.
Yes, I just got back from seeing it.
Oh, okay. So you are well versed on this thing. Look, I've got 10 topics from that one movie. You have missed 3 of them, so I want to give you the opportunity to go over the first 3 and then come on back and join us for some of the others. Actually, you missed 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's start with your first of all, what are your overall impressions of the film?
I think it was an amazing film. That film has a lot of soul, and I can tell that they did their research.
Yes.
On the film. So it's definitely very, very good.
Very good. All right. Topic one. And these are broad topics that we're going to pull in on. The music. I know you just saw the film. So I had the question with regards to the music. What I loved about it, there's a particular scene where they're in the club and he begins to play and sing. And then they visually show how the music and the beats connect and basically pull us all the way back as far back as the Zulu, and then you see the Chinese, you see different races, you see different generations, the 80s, the 90s, you even see somebody twerking in the club, all inside this juke joint. And to me, what I got out of that is music is spiritual. All music, in my opinion, carries a spirit. And the first question is yes or no. Do you agree or disagree with that? If you do agree with that, then how do you feel about churches putting gospel lyrics on secular beats? Example, Tyrone. There's a song I did a video on, full Tyrone Erykah Badu beat. Nothing about this beat changed. The only thing they did was rewrote the lyrics and put Jesus on top of them. And of course, there are tons of examples like that. So, but that's to me is a clear-cut example of how I understand what you're attempting to do, but spiritually, the origin of that song is not God. It's not rooted in God. So when I hear it, my spirit is going to connect to the word to the world in which that song came from. And I love Erykah Badu, but but in church, when I hear that beat, it's called Tyrone, not called Jesus. I don't care how good you say called Jesus, I'm going to hear called Tyrone. You know what I mean? So for to me, that says that there's a spirit that's carried in the just as it was in that club. This club, the roof is on fire and the whole place burning down. But but the spirit is carried through and through, which is why I am adamantly against mixing secular beats with gospel songs. So I know that's a loaded question. So please tell me what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts in regards to that is
okay,
I found it interesting because they were speaking at the same time as we were looking at all of the different genres of music, and I was trying to hear him. He said something about certain people have talents that transcend, that can transcends time.
Correct.
And conjure up spirits or conjure up certain time frames, and it's almost like that's all that the vampire or the demon, that's all he's seen was Sammy bringing forth that energy and that vibration.
Yeah.
And I found that so interesting. I also think that you're correct. I feel like in regards to songs, we don't know. Christian, and I just want to go on this ride. Christians, like, we don't know what they're doing in the studio.
Come on now.
To the songs.
Come on now.
I feel like, but it's not just songs. I've heard that even in corporate America, I've heard of them having, different, seances in different rooms and stuff. So we don't know a lot of the spiritual things that is done over music, over just everything. And so I think we do have to be careful when we do mix. We don't know what they've done spiritually to certain things like the record and stuff like that. And so I wanted to research actually what do they mean? Like, how deep does that go?
Yeah.
As far as conjuring up, like, certain people have talents, and we wonder why people are so messed up with drinking and stuff. And so yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I just found it very interesting how the vampire was just so intrigued. He wanted Sammy. He wanted Sammy for his talent because his talent transcended time or brought up some energy that he just wanted so bad. I found that very interesting. And what truths, I want to know what truths we can find, behind that. Is there some truth to that?
And it was
what I was wondering.
And it was spiritual. That and I have a big point. I'm trying to save it until after I got through the last of the 8 or 9 topics, but I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it. We'll revisit it. It's that spirit that I keep getting at, and I think that goes through. It's gonna pop up in just about every topic tonight. I'm pretty sure you watched the post credit scene, right?
Yes.
Okay. In the post credit scene, he is singing and playing "This Little Light of Mine, I'm Gonna Let It Shine," right?
Yes.
So that's very common. That's a song that little kids sing in church from birth, and that's something that you carry throughout your life. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And to me, it had a double meaning in this film, which is why I felt like even outside of the previous post scene, this one is what pulled everything together. Just as you're saying, he wanted that spirit, he wanted that connection, he wanted that light. That light that was carried through that music, through that talent, that light that was within that person. Listen, number one, that is a light that we Christians all carry. That's why we're able to shine in dark places. It doesn't matter where I go. I don't have to announce who I am. I don't have to I'll put on any airs or nothing. You can look at me, you can sit with me and know that there's something different. That is that light. That is that light that it shines through. But understand this: that light has that double meaning. It sends that light into dark places. It sends that light to pull people in. But also, we understand that these vampires are cannot stand where in the light. So if I want that light, if I can get that light, I can extinguish it and I can truly rule. But as long as this little light exists within this person and I can't control it, then I'm in danger of that light shining on me and vanquishing me. So to me, that had the religious aspect, and it pulled both the vampiric aspect and the religious aspect together at the same time. I hope that makes sense. I really do hope that makes sense.
He's looking at the panel, your 2 favorite people.
I see.
Come back and Thor.
I know, late Thor, late. So that to me, I definitely want to touch on that. All right. Okay, I've already hit the vampire. Your thoughts on the vampires? Let's hit that thing up. What were your thoughts on the vampire? Because I actually felt like the main vampire was a representation of Satan himself, and I'll expound on it after you give me your thoughts on this thing.
My thoughts was that from what I've known about vampires, he was an old vampire.
Yeah.
And I don't think he cared that much about race. He just wanted Sammy. I didn't have too much to think about in regards to race or anything with him. He just wanted what he wanted.
Okay.
And in regards to race, he just really didn't care. He just wanted what he wanted. And yeah, he's like definitely a representation of a spirit. Yeah.
Okay, I like that, but here's why I think he was a representation of Satan himself. If you think back, the very first time we see him pop on the scene outside of the flashes at the beginning of the film is when he's running towards the racist YT people, the Klansmen, and he's burning because the sun is coming up. If you notice in the film, he appears to fall from the sky. If you recall that part, he literally fell from the sky. And when I bring in my experience as a Christian, God, the devil himself was one of God's angels, one of the greatest angels, and he literally fell from the sky because he wanted the power, and that is what this vampire attempted to get the entire film. In addition to that, when they begin to pray close to the end of the film, he's praying for help and salvation, and the vampire is giving the same prayer and talking about how that did so much for him once upon a time. So to me, it felt like he was just an absolute representation of the Satan, that the Satan. You know what I mean? The outside of the vampire part, I just felt like he was. I really felt like he was a representation of Satan. So that's my thought on that thing. So you are 3 in. Hold on, I think you got one more. You'll be caught up. You'll be at the halfway mark with us. Your thoughts on is it Haley? The one that was passing.
Oh,
very deep, very, very deep.
So in regards to her, I didn't understand why she was upset when the I forgot her name, the black girl passed away. She was the one that was doing like the little.
Oh yes.
I didn't understand
the voodoo.
She was a vampire. Why was she screaming?
I can explain that. I can explain that. They because it wasn't just her, it was several of them. Even the other twin that was already turned, he was upset with her passing as well. They were upset because although these vampire spirits are on them, their essence is still in those bodies. So at that time, the essence of those people were that you saw them peek through. That's all that was. But of course, they're swallowed up by the vampire. So that vampiric spirit still has them suppressed. But that's why you saw the empathy come through when they pass. Thor, is that what you gather from that as well?
Me?
Yeah. That's not what you gathered from that?
No.
Oh Lord. Oh, okay. We'll come back to you. Interesting. Go ahead.
She explained it clearly in the movie. Like as far as like vampires, all it is just dead souls trapped within the human vessel. That's all it is.
Okay, but that would not explain. That's not explaining the empathy that the vampires had.
I mean, you heard it. They were family. So it was Annie, Stax, Smoke, I can't remember the other chick name. Yeah, like she said, she was family. So it was like they all grew up together and all that other stuff. So it was like they still feel they still have feelings. Even though they're dead souls, spirits, whatever you want to call it. So they still have feelings. So it's like, they wanted her to have what they have. But now that, she crossed over and.
Thank you, Bree.
Yeah.
So, Thor, it sounds like we're saying the same thing. You said no, but you're actually saying the same thing. I don't hear the. Okay, go ahead, Ellis.
I got a different take from it.
Go ahead.
If you notice, like every time one of them got turned, you're right. They didn't lose everything about themselves, but they also retained their gifts. Remick, as a form of Satan, came to get Sandy because Sandy had a utility for him in his larger plan, and so did Annie. Annie had a connection to a spiritual realm that Remick wanted authority to things and peoples and places and power that he wanted, but he couldn't attain. And Annie was one of those vehicles to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, like they all said that when Remick was staked at the end, and they all felt the pain. They were all connected through Remick, and they all shared memories. That's why they could do that that Irish dance at the end, because they shared Remick's memories. So he needed it. He wanted to download that information that Annie had into the spirit realm based on what she was doing. hoodoo and the voodoo.
Okay. All right. So you didn't feel like there was the essence of those people wasn't still in those bodies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But that's the essence, but the information. I think Remick wanted to access, because and he was dealing with other types of spirituality. He wanted access to that, and the other vampires, because of Remick, knew that Remick wanted access to that type of gateway.
I get that, but that's not it. To me, that's not explaining the empathy that these parties showed when that particular person passed or died.
That too, yeah.
I totally agree that obviously he wants whatever is going to elevate his power. But when she brought this in, she wanted to know, or whomever asked the question, why is it that they all felt something emotional when that particular person died? To me, though, the essence of those people were still in those dead. The bodies may have been dead, but the essence of those beings were still there. And the essence, although covered by the evil at this point, the essence still exudes. No different than being possessed. You're possessed. If you're possessed by a demon, that demon has control over the body, but that doesn't take away the person. Yeah, it doesn't take the essence of that being.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, that I mean, that's the only way. The best way I could describe that. All right. Okay, I think you are all caught up. Ellis, I had been waiting on you to come back because you missed 4 of the topics. I was like, all these things were directly tied to where he started, and then it took you half an hour to come back.
I was trying to figure out why I'm getting this echo.
Yeah, you sound good right now. You're good right now.
Cool.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Okay, so we covered music. Your take on the vampires, Ellis? Did you feel like the vampire? My thought on the vampires, that I felt the main vampire was a representation of the devil himself. What were your thoughts?
I agree with that. And I'll agree. I'm gonna go back to my own thing about witchcraft being unauthorized access to spaces. But also Satan with the ministry of music in heaven. Mm-hmm. So of course that representation of Satan would be attracted to Sammy being a great musician. Mm-hmm. Satan thought, because of his musical gift and that other angels would flock around him and follow him in his gift, mm-hmm. that he should have power, greater power than God. And Sammy down there being a griot and attracting all of this energy because of his musical gift. I'm a musician, so I that part resonated with me a lot. I completely understood that.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Remick wanted, and that's why I called the. That's why I mentioned Annie but her utility, because for Remick, Sammy was about utility. Was the utility of invoking spirits and energy through music. He wanted that power.
I like it. Well, I think my interpretation of it was a little bit more, and I agree with you, but mine was a little bit more literal, just based on the actions and what we were shown. If we go back to the first appearance of the main vampire, and I forget his name, but the very first time we see him, it looks as if he is falling from the sky. Biblically, that's the same way that the devil fell from the sky. So he falls from the sky. He's on fire, and then of course the Klansmen take him in. The Indians come and attempt to save them, and of course they are racist, so they lie and they end up being turned as well. That was my first indication that this is a true representation of Satan, and of course everything you're saying with regards to the want for the power and whatever it takes to have that ultimate dominion, to me says this is a representation of the Satan. The biggest draw for me saying that this was Satan himself was when we get close to the end and they're praying. And so the guy is praying for salvation, the Lord's Prayer, and then the same guy, the same vampire, begins to recite this same prayer and talked about and he spoke on how, and I'm paraphrasing, how much comfort it once upon a time gave him. I'm like, of course it would. You were one of God's angels at one time. So to me, all that led me to believe this is an actual representation of the Satan, in addition to being a vampire.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
It actually, I think that out of all the parts of the movie that kind of gave me willies, that part actually kind of scared me the most. Like, ooh, like look at this evil creature and he's reciting the Lord's Prayer.
Correct.
Along with Sammy. That's just
correct.
Crazy.
The devil know the Bible. Obviously, he was right there. So yeah, exactly. That creeped me out. But what and I'm gonna have to keep repeating this because this is my biggest takeaway. If you guys watch the post credit scene where he was doing This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm like, see. That right there is speaking directly to me as a Christian. Of course, that's a song I've known and sang my entire life, and something I carry around with me. Christians, real Christians, carry that light, and it's an essence. It's something that's just unexplainable. It is something that you don't even have to speak to, and people will see it and will connect to it. What I liked about it was he's strumming this guitar. This is part of that light. But at the same time, that when we talk about the vampires, what is the one thing that they cannot stand, and the one thing they can't that would destroy them? This little light, because they can't be in light. So of course he would want to be able to control and take that essence from him, because then he'd have free reign. So to me that spoke, that particular piece spoke directly to the Christian faith, and I loved it. I thought it was really, really great.
And too, if you watch the first part of the post credit scene,
yes,
like there's a part where Stax and his girl came into the bar, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes,
and as the old thing goes, vampires can't see themselves in that reflection or whatever in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't have a mirror reflection.
Yeah.
If you look closely, Sammy didn't have a reflection either.
Oh, I missed that.
So remember what his dad said. Whatever he's playing is the devil's music or whatever. So that also too, at the end, like at the very, very end of the second post-credit scene that you was talking about, and when he looked up, he could be looking at something. So maybe he already got that little light or whatever.
Interesting.
That little light.
Interesting. I missed the reflection altogether. That piece, I missed that altogether. But when he was singing, but when he was doing This Light of Mine, he was a little child though. So I mean, that. Both those things could be true. This little light of mine you're carrying, and maybe it was extinguished. I don't know. I missed that part. but at that time, that's what the little light was. And some people get their light snatched. So I agree with you on that. That's really good. That was a really good take. Very, very, very good take. Africa, welcome to the room. Since you both are late, we're gonna rewind this thing. Please continue to tap that screen, folks. We're at 22K likes. We should be well past the 30K mark at this point. Keep tapping. I'm reading through these comments.
Hey, I'm sorry, I'm late.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. We're gonna start over for you two. We're gonna start at the top. I'm gonna ask them my first question. Well, I don't have. Oh, yes, I do. What were your overall impressions of the movie? And then I'll cycle through these 5 topics before we get to topic number 6. Go ahead. What were your overall thoughts on the film?
I mean, obviously, I've seen the movie like 4 times already, so yeah.
Okay. It was great. It was great. Short and sweet. How about you, Miss Africa? What were your thoughts on the film? Overall thoughts.
You know I did.
You have not even seen it.
Close your ears
Oh, because I'm going to spoil it all. The whole thing.
It's okay, because I'm going to still watch it. I'm going to take what I need to take from it, so it's fine.
Very good. All right. Thor, I guess this one, a lot of these, well, some of these you'll be able to chime in on even without seeing the film, because the topic carries into our real lives. Thor, the musical aspect, and you'll be able to answer this one as well. In the club, we see the club burning down because the roof is on fire, and in the club we. You're right, but what we see in that same vein, he's strumming this guitar, he's singing the song, and you see how the music, the beat, transcends time. We're able that beat helps him to connect with the forefathers. We go all the way back to the Zulu. And then you connect with your own generation. You connect with these different races and religions, and you even connect with the current generation, where you see the girl in the back twerking and carrying on. Right, past, present, and future. Very good. But my actual question is with regards to the music itself. Do you personally believe that music itself carries spirits? And I'm asking that question, and I'm framing it around church and religion, and particularly how we've gotten to a point where we are mixing secular music with gospel lyrics. Example, Tyrone, same beat, nothing changed about it, and they just wrote gospel lyrics on top of it. And of course, there are hundreds of songs I can give the same example for. For me, I think it's completely sacrilegious. I personally believe that there are spirits that are contained within music. Good spirits, bad spirits, all just all together. And for that reason, because we know that the origin of many of these songs is not to edify God, that we should not be mixing secular beats and just rewriting gospel lyrics on top of them. Those are my opinions. I know that's a loaded question. But based on what you saw in the film and your own personal take, what are your thoughts on the music?
I mean, in a way, there's no right or wrong answer, but in a way, like, I feel like music has always been a part of Black culture, whether it be positive, negative, whatever you want to call it, spiritual, religious, whatever. Like, it's always been a part of Black culture. So, it does tie into, like you said, the past, present, future, spiritual, whatever you want to call it.
What are your thoughts on writing gospel lyrics on secular beats or secular songs?
I really don't know. I don't listen to gospel music like that no more.
You don't have to listen to it to be to yay or nay it. Back that thing up has been turned into a gospel song. You hear the same beat, and they just rewrote, and they just wrote like gospel lyrics on top of it. Your thoughts?
If I hear it, all I'm gonna think about is bang that thing.
That is the point I'm making, Thor. That to me that says that there is a spirit that is contained in that. That is what I'm saying. That is what you're. I don't care how many times you say Jesus. That beat is connected to that world, and so because that beat is connected to that world, I don't feel like those beats should be used in gospel songs. The same God that created those beats for the world should be able to give you some beats that are not connected in that way to the world, so that my spirit isn't in conflict when I'm sitting in your church. That is my thought.
And then again, too, I don't go to church, so yeah.
Okay. You loved the movie. I'm glad you loved it. Looks like I don't want to miss your comments. They have gospel rap like Lecrae. I've never been a fan of gospel rap. I like contemporary gospel, but again, even the contemporary gospel needs to not have beats that are directly tied to the world. But I gospel rap, I've just never been a fan of. Correct. My neck, my back in the church.
His name is Lecrae, not Lecrae.
Okay, Lecrae. Yeah, okay. My apologies. Africa, what are your thoughts on the music? I know you didn't see the film, but you should be able to answer the question with regards to the spirits and the music. What are your thoughts? Am I reading too far into this thing?
No, I agree. I don't like the remix. I get that they're trying to reach our young folks.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man.
But I do believe that you can reach everybody without turning secular songs into gospel songs.
Yes.
Because I've watched a few people who forget that this is supposed to be a gospel song.
Come on.
And they really rocking in church.
Come on now.
Because the beat is what they are used to.
Come on.
Inside the club, at home, at family functions or whatever. And you forget that, oh wait, I'm in the Lord's house.
Come on now.
I can't really rock. I can't pop, lock, and drop it. I can't twerk it out.
Come on.
All that stuff like that. So while I have no problem with whoever want to listen to it, me myself, and I won't listen to anything that I know started off secular turned into gospel, because I'm not gonna play with the Lord like that. Because like I tell people, I feel like He'll make a great example out of me, and I don't want to be the one.
Look, Africa, even where them fans has made it to the church, and the origin. Even though y'all popping y'all fans, this song is about hitting it from the back. Has anybody actually listened to the lyrics?
I just like the beat.
Correct. Yes. Boots on the ground is about hitting it from the back, and y'all popping your fans in church to a song that's talking about hitting it from the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and
please listen to it.
I like the beat. I just like the beat.
Yeah. Get behind that thing, girl, and roll it. That is hitting it from the back. And y'all popping the fans in the church to it. No. The answer is no. And I like the dance. I absolutely like the dance. But and I think the song is enjoyable. But no, that song does not belong in anybody's church. It's about hitting it from the back. What they got to do with Jesus? Unless you're married. And even if you're married, I don't think you got to go to church to talk about hitting it from the back.
Right.
Just saying.
I mean, God did say be fruitful and multiply.
Correct, but everybody's in that church is not married, so you can't do that because that would bring in those lustful demons. That's what we're talking about. Somebody can become very lustful behind something like that. Obviously, I'm married, so yeah, I can get behind that thing, girl, and roll it. But everybody in this church ain't grown. Everybody in this church ain't married. And some of these people in this church are just plain old children. They don't know nothing but this. They don't realize that this song is about hitting it from the back. I'm just saying.
I mean, just like a lot of people didn't know that the electric slide was about a vibrator. But hey.
I agree with that part as well. Oh, Siru, I would love to have you come up, but I need you to hit that button and become part of my TikTok family in order to do so. Okay, we got a couple of people over on the YouTube side. I've not forgotten about you. If you're typing it, I will read it and add it to the conversation that's going on TikTok. So please feel free to chime on in and type out whatever you want to type out. Nobody gets ignored over here. All right, Siru, come on up. Welcome to my TikTok family and welcome to the live. How you doing tonight?
Doing great.
Very good. Doing well. Please tell me you've seen Sinners.
Oh, say what?
Please tell me you've seen the film that's behind me.
Vampire music.
Not. Definitely not. No, I have not.
Okay. I do.
honestly, I just thought it was a background or something, and then you guys started talking about sinners, and I was like, okay, this is an intriguing conversation. I didn't realize it was about a movie. My bad. I will drop myself. I am so embarrassed.
No problem. I'm sending you back to the chat.
Hey, she figured it out real quick.
Listen, people, we're talking about Sinners the movie, not Sinners the people, although everybody in here is a sinner. All right. Where are we at? We're just on number 2. Have we covered the vampires in totality? Has everybody gotten everything out about the vampires? Hey,
I think that was the last one.
We all good.
Everybody good on the vampires. The next topic was... Oh, Thor, I'm sorry. Go right ahead. Of course.
I was saying because we was just talking about the music, and
I'm
sure, like everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2.
Okay.
I didn't. I'd like to chime in on the music part.
Okay, go ahead. I thought you started there, Ellis.
We started, gentlemen.
You got some more?
Well, I really love when people talk about music. A lot of times they interchange lyrics with music. Vibrations in music and chords and what those things do in the spiritual realm is much different than what happens when you put the energy out with words or lyrics. But it's funny to me though, what we call modern, what we call gospel, even old time gospel, at one point was not in the church. The blues concepts that we grew up with as gospel music.
So amazing.
It was shunned. It was shunned by the church at one point.
So Amazing Grace was secular at one time. No, it was not. No, it was not.
I'm saying that the forms of gospel that are blues based were at one point weren't. It wasn't gospel at one point. It is. I forgot the gentleman's name, but there was a gentleman that actually introduced these blues based gospel songs into the church. It took him about 20 years to do it. It was a slow process, but I understand your point. Like there are songs that have a memory to it, and that song has it belongs to that particular idea that it was originally built in, and you can't just swap it out. I mean, and God actually talks about this in Psalms 33:3. Well, Psalm 33. Rejoice the Lord, you righteous ones. Praise, praise from the upright is beautiful. Praise the Lord with the lyre. Make music with him with the turn-string harp. Here's a big one though. I talk about Psalms 33:3. Sing a new song to him. Play skillfully on the strings with a joyful shout. A lot of cats who are making music, especially making music in the church, they're not skillful. A lot of cats don't know music theory. They don't know enough to actually create something new that can be an offering. A lot of people are playing on the funk, but and basically that particular verse says, if you're gonna come and play in the house of God, you can't suck. You can't half step. You better bring your best ability and your best knowledge, and that doesn't happen all the time.
Okay, I like that. I can feel you on that thing. Yeah, we're good. I think we're pretty much on the same page with regards to that. Yeah, 100%. You just can't change the lyrics. I'm sorry that the spirit is built into whatever beat that was created. I'm sorry, just the spirit is there. The spirit of Tyrone is going to be there. The spirit of back that thing up is going to be there. The spirit of boots on the ground because I'm hitting you from the back is still going to be there. I don't care that you write Jesus on the front. Jesus at the beginning and the end of that sentence.
I mean, but okay, so let's take it like 50 years from now. you really think they gonna think like, say like they raised up in the church and they continue to sing that song in the church or whatever? You really think like 50 years from now, like their kids or grandkids or great grandkids or whatever the case is gonna remember that, Back That Thing Up was actually a Back That Thing Up song, as far as where they hear it, like the gospel version, they gonna, like, kids 50 years from now gonna think that it's a gospel song?
I seriously doubt that Back That Thing Up is still going to be played in anybody's church in 50 years. I'm not even sure that brick and mortar churches are even gonna make it another 50 years. Honestly, that's a loaded question. That's a loaded question.
No, I'm just saying, like, if it still exists and stuff like that, like,
I don't see why they wouldn't. My daughter is born in 2008, and she discovered or was introduced to many of the originals of music that's older than me and her. I don't see why not. I don't think it could just be erased or dissipated. I don't think so.
Well, no, I'm saying, okay, so say like, let me think. Okay, so say for example, something like BB King or whatever, right? I grew up listening to like BB King before I knew like some of his songs was transferred into gospel songs, or some of his music or melodies were transformed into gospel songs. So, but when I listen to it, all I hear is BB King. So now, like, say like 50 years from now, somebody will think, oh, I grew up listening to this song or whatever, but we knew it as BB King, if that makes sense.
And your child would know it as BB King?
No, I'm not saying my child, because my child would know it as BB
King. And her child would know it as BB King? And her child would know it as BB King?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. They would know it as something else other than BB King.
I don't think so.
What I'm saying.
I don't think so. Michael Jackson was passed before my daughter was with. When did he pass?
09.
09. My daughter would have been 5.
Can I interject just a little bit?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now I understand your question and I understand his point, but I want to kind of help bring it home just a little bit.
Please.
Okay. So, growing up, I'm 47 right now. In my household, when I was growing up, I had to listen to what my mama listened to.
Correct.
So, a lot of the songs that I grew up listening to, if I hear them on the radio today, that's my favorite version because that's the one I grew up with.
Correct.
I have seen different versions of a lot of the songs, and the remake don't make it. It is not of quality. So, just like now, you can go on the radio and hear 3 different versions of the same song. Back in about 50 years, you'll be able to do the same thing. It's gonna transcend, but the original is always gonna be out there. So whether or not they'll remember that it was a BB King song or if it's a remake that turned into a gospel song, I think it's all gonna be out there. So they'll have their chance to listen to both and make their own interpretation.
Right.
And I don't think that's a good thing because some of these songs that people remaking and changing into other stuff don't need to be made because it sucks. Literally.
True.
Yeah, and I can think back. Okay, not even at home. I had a 5th grade teacher that would play Anita Baker for whatever reason. It was her favorite artist, and she played Anita Baker every day that I was in her class, and all the kids could not stand it because it wasn't our music. It wasn't what we wanted. But that stuff seeped in, not even on the conscious level, but on a subconscious level. And at some point, as I grew up, I ended up reverting and carrying Anita Baker right on into my spirit, and now she's one of my favorites. My daughter got here, and guess what? The tradition continued. She didn't even get an opportunity to dislike Anita because that was on some of the first music she ever heard. So we're talking. I'm 40. She's 16. And I'm pretty sure the same thing is likely going to happen to her child. So I'm pretty sure that will cover the gambit of the 50 years that you're talking about. No, those spirits, those songs carry through and through, which is why we should not be mixing back that thing up with when Jesus says yes. Nobody can't say no. Absolutely not. That's what I.
You know what's interesting? I'm just thinking about it now because we're talking about it. And I didn't think about it during the film. I'm thinking about it right now, though. This sort of lot of mine is the blues. It takes a device in music theory that's called the turnaround. A 1/7, a 6/7, a minor 2/7 to primary dominant 5/7 chord back to a 1/7. Mm-hmm. It's found in lots of different types of music. Musicians call it the turnaround. But it's interesting that throughout the entire movie, all of those songs were forms of blues. When he was in the car with Stat, talking about getting out and getting away from the church, he was playing the blues, right? When he was in that car, in the juke joint, they're playing all the different forms of blues, and when the different cultures and different time periods were being invoked, he was playing blues concepts. This Little Light of Mine is a blues. When Remick and the other vampires were outside the juke joint trying to get in, they played a tune called Pick Poor Robin Clean, Pick Poor Robin. But that song was based on Turnaround, which came out the blues. All those songs were tied together with the concepts and elements of as far as music theory, structurally built around the blues.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just geeking out right now. So
no problem. No problem. Let's okay, so we're past that. We're on 3 now. That was number 3 was religion.
I don't know, what was number 2?
Vampires.
We never covered vampires.
Yeah, we did. We've been talking about vampires and music the whole time.
Yes.
Because I know, hold on, what was number 1? I think number 1 was music, right?
Correct. And then vampires, and then religion.
I never talked about vampires.
You never talked about vampires. Okay.
We talked about how the representation, it looks like.
Correct.
Actually, vampires was probably number 1 and music was number 2 because I came in on y'all talking about vampires.
I came in on the part where Annie got. That's the part I came.
Well, I talked about the main vampire being the original representation of Satan falling from heaven.
And then you said something about what do vampires not like,
and this little light of mine.
I came in.
Correct.
And then we went to music, so I think music must have been number 2 and vampires was number 1.
Music is right here. I started over. I went back. You came back. We went back. Thor, please, please add. I would like for your addition to the vampire conversation of vampire lore.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it was necessarily because if you look at it, even that night or whatever, vampires can jump. So I just think he was from him trying to get away from the Native Americans, he just, vampires got really, really good hops. So I don't think he was falling, he just jumped, getting away from them.
Okay. But okay, that I like that. Okay, but what about the prayer? The prayer and how he referenced how near and dear that prayer used to be to him once upon a time.
I mean, ain't it to everybody though?
Well, no, not the undead. No, no, sir. That to me spelled out that this is a representation of Satan. Satan wants what God has, and obviously he spent the entire movie trying to get what he felt was that direct connection, so he could become more powerful. That to me spelled out. This is the devil. This is Satan.
Wasn't he the only vampire that had the red eyes?
Yeah, he had red. One of the twins had blue, and then there were two other colors. Yes, he was the only one that had red eyes. You're absolutely right. Go ahead, Thor.
No, I was just gonna say like could be like because I take it from a literal historical context of.
There is no historical context to vampires because they don't exist. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying like the message.
What I'm speaking on is more historical than vampires.
No, okay, because if you
stop the face.
I'm just saying.
All right. If you look at it from this perspective, throughout history, what is one thing that? Okay, I look at the movie like this: vampire, white people, black people, black people. You know, you sprinkle in a couple Asian people in there too. And if you look at it this way, the Asian people in the black community, what do? They somewhat, they kind of fellowship with black people, right?
Well, you're getting off into race and racism. That's an entire separate topic. You need to stay up. So let's stay with the vampires.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's not you're talking about race and racism. That's totally separate topic. We're gonna get there, but that's totally separate from straight up vampires.
But that's what I got from it. Like it wasn't really.
So you equated vampires to white people.
Yeah,
but the vampires were every nationality once they turned.
No, but and that's what I was saying.
So so they're not just white people; they're everybody.
He's equating it to white supremacy. Is what he's trying to say.
But we had a clear-cut case of white supremacy at the beginning, the middle, and the end. There was no need to include the vampires as part of white supremacy. We had white supremacists that was going to use this entire juke joint to unalive a bunch of black people. The vampires didn't have to do that.
Well, I think what was interesting is the fact that when the vampires got turned by Remick and they all shared his memories, and they showed that part. They showed that part of that culture. You could almost look at that as a form of colorism. Yeah, you had a bunch of black people that understood white culture. They absorbed his culture by connecting to his bloodline. So.
Okay. Back to the vampire store.
I can talk now.
Say what?
I can talk now.
You sure can.
Okay. No, but what I was saying was like how how the white people came, snatched what they wanted, and indoctrinated our people. I felt like Remick, if that's his name, I don't know his name, but how Remick kind of it's an indoctrination. He indoctrinated Stacks, Cornbread, and everybody else into okay, y'all gonna do this. This is the vision that I have for a quote unquote better world or the new world, fellowship and love, and all, they preach all that stuff, right? But yet they did it through violence, so to speak.
Okay,
that's just what I got from it.
But you also were given a choice, because if you didn't invite them into that position, then they couldn't do that to you. If you didn't invite them into your home, then they can't do that to you.
But
So to me, that's totally different than the straight up racist people that were coming to unalive them. If I got to give you permission to take over, then that's not the same as I'm coming over to change you. I'm giving you an option. You have an option.
That's where remember, because they was trying to keep them out, right? They were trying to keep them out before, right? Mm-hmm. Because they can't enter unless they have
unless they're invited. Right? Correct.
Right. But then when Remick used old lady's husband, when Remick used Bo, and like, come on, baby, let's go, blah blah blah. He got to Bo, and then he started. I know how started speaking her language, which kind of got under her skin, right? Made her mad. So then she come and get me, blah blah, or come, invited them in.
Yeah.
That's all they needed.
Was an invitation.
Yeah. So it was more or less like insider or not insider. Outsiders getting it. We invite outsiders for outsiders to invite other outsiders that's not supposed to be in. If that makes sense.
But how? I don't consider they were part of the community. How were they outsiders?
Okay, in that movie,
they lived in the community. They were part of the community.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they were part of the community. How to fight with us? What did she say?
That I did.
She said we help y'all. We did not sign up for this.
Okay, but that's just being weak. I mean, what's uncommon about people being chicken and afraid? That doesn't make them any less a part of the community to me. Just scared. There are plenty of punks that's gonna run at the sight of danger. Yeah, I came over here to make a sign. I came over here to help get the club off the ground. I didn't come over here to fight for my life.
Yeah,
I don't think the race had anything to do with that, because I would say that to many of people. I didn't come over here to fight for my life. I came over here to help you paint the inside of this house. I've done that, and now y'all starting craziness. I'm about to go. I'm just saying. that's my take on that thing.
That was supposed to be part of the community. You don't do that to community, so yeah.
That's just, the whole thing about being invited, is that also like a form of spiritual warfare too? Like when they were in the house and they were under the covering of that.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
And when they were under the covering of the shelter, they were safe. But it wasn't until they left the covering of the shelter, they weren't immediately in danger, but they put themselves in peril of being taken over.
I like that. Now that's a hot take there. I like that. Absolutely. I can totally support that. That's really, really, really a good take. Yeah. I like that. And that is, to me, that is spiritual warfare, which again feeds right back into my theory that this was Satan and his little minions. The only power that you get, honestly, even now, the only power that the devil has is that of which God allows, which is why you need permission to come in these doors. And to your point, this covering just as well could have been a church. And just like that, and he ended up entering that church.
And he ended up at a church. He went from the covering of a juke toy,
correct,
that saved him temporarily until she spoke. She used words to break the covenant of what that building was supposed to represent, and he ran back to a church to help him find covenant, but he abandoned the church.
Very good, very good. Hold on, folks. I got my laptop's dying. Keep going, keep it going. I got to grab my charger from my laptop.
That makes sense.
Very good.
I like how you explained that.
Because I mean, I like the whole movie's about dualities. Like look at Stack and Smoke. You had two twins, right? And you got the juke joint is supposed to be a place of sin, but it was really a place of protection. Not only for them during the movie, but at the end of the movie, because I believe that Stack and Mary were hiding in the building when the clan was coming back. They thought they were going to come back and take out more people that were in the building, but Stack and Smoke were in there. So Stack and Smoke were being protected by that building, in the same building that the mortals were being protected with at first. And then Sammy ran back to a building for protection, but he rejected the protection.
Right.
I like it.
So the place that you would assume would be a place of danger was actually the source of their greatest protection. It was actually your safe place, and the place that we assume would be a safe place, he didn't see it as being safe.
Correct.
This movie's so good.
It is so good, so deep. That's what I love about it.
What makes it great art is that it makes you think about possibilities.
It's a conversation starter. It is certainly a conversation starter. All right. I had to plug my laptop in it. You guys were dying. I'm sorry. We're back. All right. DMR and Stingson, you guys have sent up requests, but you're not part of my following list. I need you guys to hit the follow button, become part of my TikTok family, and then you're more than welcome to join the conversation. We are starting to get it live in here. We got 20 people in the room. We're at 24K likes. We should be closer to the 50K mark. Let's keep on tapping that screen. Let's get that thing up closer to the 50K mark. Keep the conversation going on YouTube and TikTok, and we're going to keep this thing moving. All right. Are we ready to, where are we now? Thank you so much.
I'm going to drop down. I'm thinking about that. I got to work in the morning.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next week.
Yo.
All right. Hold on just a second. Something's going on. I didn't hit a wrong button over here. Yeah, stop. What is going on? Okay, we're good. All right, DMR, have you seen this film?
Yeah, I've seen it 3 times.
Oh, awesome. What were your overall thoughts on it?
I'm going to give the film a solid 8.8 out of 10.
Okay.
And if I only had to be critical of the film, number one, I think it's a cinematic masterpiece. But if I had to choose something to criticize, it's just when we got into the whole vampire part of the story. See, in the first 40 minutes, I loved how historically accurate it was. You know, I just feel like, because I also love vampire films.
Me too.
Well, Me too. Know what I'm saying? I just feel like when it got to the vampire part, and don't get me wrong, the movie is still amazing. I just felt like they had to water down actual vampires to make the story add up, if you know what I'm saying. Because traditional vampires, they would have just wiped them all out. But for the sake of the movie, that couldn't happen. That's the only criticism if I had to dig upon. But like I said, I've seen it 3 times. I love the movie. I think it's amazing, and I'm a huge fan.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll run this thing down to you since you missed the first 4 or 5 subjects. We're going to start with the music. There's a scene in the film where we see the past, the present, the future play out through the character, or the main character, strumming this, well, not the main character, but one of the main characters strumming the guitar and singing the blues. We see the Zulu, we see the Chinese, we see different eras, past, present, and future, all the way up until 2025, where they twerking in the club. All this occurred in a juke joint. My question is a little bit more rounded with regards to music itself. What are your thoughts? Because I felt personally that this was a beautiful illustration of how spirits are within music, within the beats, within the lyric, all those things, and that music, that spirit, that beat does transcend time, just as they stated. And those spirits are buried regardless of how you play it. Whatever spirit was conjured, and I won't say conjured in a which way, but whatever spirit or essence created that, it transfers from ear to ear, from generation to generation, person to person. My personal thought. Feel free to disagree. But if you do agree, then what are your thoughts with regards to the church now mixing these secular beats and just slapping gospel lyrics on top of them? I.e., example, Tyrone. Same beat start to finish. They just wrote "Call Jesus" instead of "Call Tyrone." Bag that thing up has been done. Various Beyonce songs, including "We Be All Night." That's "Drunken Love." That's in the church. Even the newest offender, "Where Them Fans At," which, if you actually listen to the lyrics, it's about hitting a woman from the back. But they in the church popping their fans to it and calling on Jesus. What are your thoughts? I said on the music and the spirits and mixing this music in the church in the way that it's being done in 2025. What are your thoughts?
You asking me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna address the first part of your question. I think that I'm gonna take a quote from Brother Khalid Muhammad, rest in peace. He always said that Black people were a people of rhythm. So I agree. I thought that was a great scene when they had him strumming the guitar and showing all the different generations and how they all interconnected through the rhythm of the music.
Absolutely.
Now when we talk about incorporating urban music into gospel, I disagree, in my opinion, because Jesus says, "Come as you are," and don't get me wrong, I'm only human, but just judging through my lens, I don't think that we should be trying to intertwine those things. Like you said, like "Drunken Love." Think about "Drunk in Love."
Drunken Love.
The song is about being promiscuous. The whole premise of the song is about being promiscuous. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we could switch the lyrics, but just in my personal opinion, I'm not a fan of that.
The essence is there. Look, me and you are on the same. I'm adamantly against it. The only time you even see it in my content is when I'm making a point or making a joke, because I never want to hear again. Whatever that beat, wherever I got that beat from first is where my spirit is going to connect. It's natural. It is human. It's inherent. There's no way that you can undo it. You cannot unring that bell, and it's just no way. It's just, but they're doing it. So yeah, I like that. Your thoughts on the vampires? I felt like the main vampire was a representation of Satan himself, and I have evidence for it. But I want to hear your thoughts on it.
I think that whoever that actor is, he did a fantastic job.
It was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, I like being that. He did a great job, and I just felt like, that's just because I like vampires, right?
Yes.
So it's just, and like I said again, like he had to water them down to make it fit the storyline. But like I said, I will give the main actor credit because he did a fantastic job, especially the scene when they're standing outside when they first approach the juke joint.
Yes.
Him and the woman and the other guy.
Yeah.
And that whole interaction was spot on, if you ask me.
I think so too.
I think he did a fantastic job. So
yeah.
I like that guy, but I see. Here's the thing too, though, because I hear the critics who don't like the movie. They say, "Oh, it's too demonic."
Oh,
but it's a horror film.
But here, I want to jump on that too, because here's my thing. I don't like that people pick and choose what is too bad for the Christians. Right. If we're gonna pick apart this movie, then we need to pick apart every one of Tyler Perry films, because he's Madea 90% of them, and that is not of God. We don't want to talk about that though. That is okay.
They say Sinners is demonic, but go watch The Conjuring.
Come on now. Madea, this is a man in a wig and a dress, and I've seen the films. I enjoyed a lot of them. I've been to the plays, but I understand. If that's not too bad for my Christian spirit, then this can't be too bad for my Christian spirit. And I just feel like if a movie is enough to disturb your spirit in that way, then I just don't feel like you're much of a Christian to begin with. Right. So yeah, maybe you should stay at home.
I mean, we all know why. Well, we have an idea of why they're saying it. You know what I'm saying? When you make something so good as that, they have to find something.
They got to find something.
Have a negative about.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this.
Yes.
What do you think? Because what's your favorite scene in the movie?
Oh, my favorite scenes. That's something nobody's asked me yet. One of my favorites is the post credit. This Little Light of Mine. Simple, very, very simple. But for me, it spoke to me as a Christian, where it says, and to me, it tied everything together to make me reinforce the fact that I felt that vampire was Satan. He wanted that spirit. He wanted that essence. He wanted to control that light. And as Christians, we carry that light around and we shine in dark places. These vampires cannot stand the light. Our light as Christians, people of faith, extinguishes and vanquishes the darkness and the demons and the vampires in essence. So to me, that little bitty scene meant a whole lot to me. So that one I particularly enjoyed. And there was another one, the scene where the twin passes away after he unalives all of the Klansmen. And he meets his wife on the other side and gets to hold his baby. He gets to hold his baby. I thought that was that those two scenes were my favorite scenes in the entire film. And then how he had just enough energy to come back and destroy that last one before he grabbed his baby and went off into the afterlife. Yes, it was. You're interrupting this beautiful moment. You know, I am crossing over. And you still trying to make this thing about you. So yeah, let me go and introduce you too. So yeah, that those two were my favorite scenes. What were yours?
For me, I would say performance wise, I really enjoyed the scene where I enjoyed the scene where Smoke and Mary are in the juke joint, and even though it was a short love scene, I really enjoyed that dynamic between them as far as the performance when he seemingly admits that he's in love with her, but leading up to that he didn't want to. And then as far as on a filmmaker's perspective, I think that scene where the vampire drops in the frame is so underrated, man.
No,
it's very underrated.
Go ahead. Oh, well, that is where my first inkling of this is the devil comes in, because although there's been debate on this side, my feeling is he fell into this scene, and I felt it was intentional, just as Satan himself fell from the sky. He fell to earth from heaven, and he's burning. Of course, that's what the devil do. The devil's gonna burn. He's in hell. And so to me, that was my favorite scene for that reason, because that
was so dope. It was as far as like a creative perspective, thinking outside the box. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Because I feel like you have to see the whole film to realize how good that scene is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all ties together in the end.
And then the racism on top of it, when the Indians are coming to get this demon out of here, and you're so racist and so glued to your supremacy that you're going to protect. Yeah. So you're going to ultimately destroy yourselves because of your hatred towards people that don't look like you. I thought it was those were my favorite scenes. And then you walk in the house and realize they were actually trying to save you. It was too late.
And this is how you know for me that the movie's so good. Because you just want more. Like, I would have loved to see a little bit more of the Indians. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think that would have been great. But like I said, Ryan Coogler did a great job for what it is. But yeah, those were probably my two favorite scenes in the whole movie.
I do have a critique, very small. I felt the entire first half of the film was nothing more than them preparing to get this juke joint together. Mm-hmm. And although you do introduce all of your characters in that span, I felt like some of that could have been pressed down, and then we could have spent a little bit more time with the vampires and a little bit more time, in the inside the juke joint. And then I kind of felt like the ultimate fight was I think it could have been played a little bit better. You know what I mean? It was cool. Yeah, the big fight where the Chinese woman invites them in. You know what I mean? I felt like I felt like it was rushed. You were just trying to find a reason for everybody to fight. You know what I mean? I enjoyed the tension of them trying to convince somebody to let them, more than you just upsetting this lady and she's now potentially putting you all in danger. If I were the writer, I would have gotten the husband to go and get the daughter and bring the daughter back before you turn her, and then leave the wife with the impossible decision. Do I step outside this door and try to save my daughter, or do I let her become one of you? To me, that would have been a much better reason for the fight. You know what I mean? But that to me, I liked it for what it was. But to me, I thought it could have been a little bit more tension than what it was. That's just my personal take.
Didn't Bo allude to it though? Didn't he allude to the fact that he was going to go get the daughter anyway?
He did say that.
Isn't that what I think that's what broke her?
Yeah, he said it, but I would have liked to have seen it.
No, it was the other guy that did it, because he said, hold on. No, he said, should I pay your daughter a visit? And then he name dropped her. And then that's when she was like, don't you touch her.
Yeah, I would have preferred to have seen. I think that would have been so great. Your little 14-year-old daughter out there with all the vampires, and of course they're cunning and conniving. So he could have went over there, and you thinking this your actual dad, and you don't realize he's already been turned. Was his face messed up? I don't remember.
No, it wasn't.
It's okay. So he still looked normal. So I would have loved for you to have brought your daughter over there with those false pretenses and stood her right in front of that threshold. I thought that would have been powerful. That would have been really, really powerful. But that's just my mind and the way it tends to spin. But overall, it was still good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see the movie actually again, man. Once I go back to California, because I read that there's only 9 actual 70mm IMAX
I've heard
theaters in the country.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go down there to Southern California and go see it how Ryan Coogler wanted us to.
Exactly.
I don't mind. The movie is that good to me. So
it was really, really good. All right. Are we done with the vampires now? Anybody else on vampires before I move on? Okay, we're good. Can we talk about? Oh, okay. Let's talk about the race and the racism in this film. Let's talk about that thing. I thought it was well handled. It was well played, and the fact that this man sold them this juke joint with the intent of coming back, taking the land, the juke joint back, their money, and then taking all of their lives. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that thing.
Historically accurate.
Let's say correct. Correct. It doesn't get any better than that. And it bleeds over right into today. That systematic way of controlling resources and ensuring that these people do not get ahead. It was beautifully done. And he told them, stay off of this piece of land or I'm going to unalive all y'all. He told you.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was done right, and you know, it was historically accurate, and you know, and like you said, the man took the money. It's a double win because he took your money,
correct,
and then he gets the land back,
correct.
So,
and y'all have fixed up this place so y'all can run it as a club now after I take all y'all lives. You see what I'm saying? You didn't lose anything. You didn't lose anything. I was so happy that it worked out that way. Although people are really, especially the black conservatives, are really upset. They feel like this is I've seen Rob Smith. I done a video on him.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I did a video on him where he's basically saying that it's black victimhood. Victim. A beautiful black victimhood movie.
That's the one thing, and not to get off.
Sure.
That's the one thing that I don't like about this platform is that you got a lot of people that look like us that do that type of stuff to get engagement.
Correct.
And they push that forward on this platform.
All day long. And you're not lying. 3 million views. And again, I've gone toe to toe with him 2 or 3 times in videos, but his videos will outperform mine because he says what they want to hear. Even though they're complete lies a lot of times. And I come back with the facts. Lay them facts out. My video is not going to perform the way that the lies do. It's bad. But me, a person with moral standards and integrity, I just cannot do that. I don't want to look back on my content and know that I did this for a check. I just cannot do it. But they do it, and they do it all the time. And it's pushed.
Check out my last video when I was saying earlier.
What's that?
About the whole, how Remy, fellowship and love and all this other stuff. And, when Stacks was trying to pretty much, I don't want to say guilt trip Smoke into joining.
He was.
Annie.
He was.
In the joining them. But yeah, like, I feel like that's what it was.
I agree with
that.
They
were saying it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. You only die. Once you die, it's cool.
What kind of deal is that?
I know.
You sell out, you get a check.
I know. And here's the thing, though. We were exploring. Oh, and I want to ask you this, DMR, since you say you're into the vampire. Have you been watching Interview with the Vampire at all?
Oh, yeah, I watched that and read the book.
Oh, my God. I did. Queen of the Dam, I read that one start to finish. It was great. And obviously, I read it just because of the Queen of the Dam movie. And, of course, the book was 10 times better than the movie. Right. And you see, they left so much out of it. But, yeah, I love that. And I have been an avid watcher of the Interview with the Vampire. So I'm super excited for the new season to come out whenever it does. That now you talk about some serious vampire lore. That is the real deal there.
So you like Anne Rice?
Oh yeah. I think she's great.
She describes how vampires move and things like that's like it. For me, it was like. Yeah. You hear how a real vampire like it would be like, I don't know if any of you have kids, but like they wouldn't stand a chance.
Correct.
Vampires are supernatural. They're way faster. They're way stronger. There's
Correct.
Nothing that an average human can do. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But like I said, Ryan Coogler did what he did to make it fit the film, and he did a great job.
Correct. Like, in actuality, none of those people would have made it. Right. None of them. Not a single one of them. There's no way. The only one that would have made it would have been the one that he wanted to baptize, and that's it. And if it wasn't for the correct, and if it wasn't for the sun coming up and you coming in and getting him we could have did it that way, where it was just that one left of him and the blues player, something like that. But the rest of those people, all those people were supposed to go quick. They were supposed to go very fast.
I thought about something.
What's that?
Now, he baptized Sammy, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Let's talk about the buildings again. I'm gonna go back. This is about the racism.
Okay.
Remick went into the first Klansman house and turned his first vampires there.
Mm-hmm.
Remick could not go into the juke joint, but he could only turn vampires outside of the house.
Mm-hmm.
But they invited him in as well, did they not? The white people.
Eventually, but the vampires that got turned outside of the house. The ones that came in got turned outside. But
he talking about the juke joint.
Okay, we're at the juke joint now. Okay.
But the church, Remick never made it to the church, but Remick tried to baptize someone in the water. So let's look at the fact that the racism was allowed to propagate under the roof of the white supremacists and not under the roof of the juke joint and not under the roof of the church.
That's a good point.
Very good point.
I think Ryan Coogler was trying to say strength in numbers. That's how I took it.
I like that. Very good points. Very, very good points. Cultural appropriation. That was another big one that I saw through and through, and that was the vampires, especially the vampires when they were attempting to come in. What are you guys' thoughts with regards to the cultural appropriation in this film?
That song, "Pick Poor Robin Clean." Folks probably thought that was a song by white people. That was a black pop tune.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was white people playing black music trying to get access to black spaces.
Yeah. Loved it. Yeah,
absolutely. Like Delta Slim said in the car, white folks love the blues, they just don't love the people who playing it.
Correct. And that speaks to us today. They
still that way today.
Correct. They love
Beyonce.
They love our okay.
She's doing country.
Okay. I'm with you now.
But didn't get invited to any of the country music award shows.
And
didn't get nominated for any of them. They had the #1 country album.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's talk about the fact that country music is actually a combination of all those different cultures put together.
Yeah, country music was started by black folks.
That is true.
By black folks.
Black, but there was
Irish, everything.
Right, it was black folks, but there was Irish influence in country music, and there was a Native American.
Hey, Tiger.
There was black folks. There was Irish. All those cultures contributed to what we call country music today.
And guess who thinks that they own it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I think that's why so many people resonate with the film, man. Because this man, he took us back in the 20s and 30s, but a lot of the same stuff that was happening there is just happening today.
Agreed. I mean, like you say, they love to put us on like a costume. But they don't want the look. They don't want the experience. They love the big lips. They love the wide hips. They love the big butts. They love all those things. But they don't want the experience. They want to put us on and take us off whenever they feel like it. So I thought that was a wonderful, especially the very first time we see them attempting to get in a club by playing the music. And it wasn't that, hey, let us come in and jam with you. No, let us show you how we do it. You see what I'm saying? It was,
it was a whole different tone.
Correct.
It was the rhythm was different. It was so like it had no swing to it.
Correct.
It was all 1 2 1 2. You know what I'm
saying?
Correct.
No soul.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. You all were vampires. Of course you don't have souls.
It's like these dudes thought this movie through a million times. You know?
Yeah,
you're right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about
music has no souls because you don't have any. I thought that was like I said, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that's definitely how I took it. Point. Yeah, absolutely. I loved it. Another scene I loved was when the biracial girl, I hate I don't know her name, when she goes out, Mary. Okay, when Mary goes out to talk to them. And then we see him leap up together. Oh, Loved it. I loved it.
Really, and another thing, like, have you ever seen? I think it was Chronicles of Riddick. Have you ever seen that movie?
I have not. No.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a scene where I can't remember who he's fighting, but the man moves so fast that like it's a blur.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that's how they're moving. Like
correct.
I really love that too. Like when she's walking back to the joint, he just set everything up so well. It was so well executed.
Correct, but because he appealed to her spirit, he appealed to her broken heart. He knew that she'd lost a loved one. I mean, Satan does the exact same thing.
If you notice in that scene, right, when he's talking to her and he's sitting down,
tap the screen, folks.
See his eyes.
Correct.
You can't see his eyes.
Correct.
Like you can't see the man's soul.
Correct. I thought
well executed, bro.
It was so well done. I'm like, that's what you guys have got to understand. That Satan is a powerful being as well. That's why you have to keep your heart guard and stay under the covering. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I'm saying, because he knows how to appeal to you. The only thing I want you to do is worship me. And then that's what this demon wanted. He wanted, hey, I'll give you all the desires of your heart. So you think all I want you to do is invite me in. So I thought it was that was Satan. And he was the only one in the film with red eyes. That was Satan. That was definitely Satan. All right.
Interesting that if Mary
hey Sonia.
If Mary was home with her husband, none of this movie would have happened.
You got that right, because they never would have been able to infiltrate. She was the one
she was now she felt that she had. I'm gonna keep going back to this theme about witchcraft, unauthorized access to spaces. But because she had experience in the Black community, she felt that she had authorization to that space. Stack already told her to go home. This wasn't the place for her.
Yeah.
I mean, but she was Black, so I mean, she had a right to be there.
Yeah, but speaking on not only Mary, the other one was sleeping with the preacher boy.
Now I had a question about that, because they emphasize I'm married so many times that I was expecting the husband to show up at some point. Why did we need to know that she was married? What did that add to the plot other than she's a sinner? I mean, they all are.
Well, you know what?
The name of the movie is Sinner.
Okay, but why did at what point did she regret her decision?
She regretted her decision about marrying him, marrying her white husband, because she wanted staff.
No, that's not who I'm talking about now. I'm talking about the other, yeah, the Black lady that was messing with the preacher boy.
Oh,
okay. Why did we need to know that she was married? They emphasized it like 3 times. I was like, this has got to be important to the movie.
Right.
And nothing came of it. I was like,
I mean, maybe the thing could be is because she did perish at the end, right?
True.
She did perish. I mean, maybe he was trying to show, infidelity leads to a dark road. I mean, if I had to guess,
I can get with that. I mean, but she could have just as well been a single woman. She had sex with him. That's fornicating. That's a sin. So I mean, she would have fell in the sinner category anyway. She was unmarried, having sex in a juke joint. So I mean, we could have played on that. You know what I mean? I just felt like, because you kept drilling into us, I'm married. I needed something to make a bigger point. I would have liked the husband to have shown up and done something. I don't know what. Maybe he got turned into a vampire. I don't know. I was just very confused at the fact that they drug us there. They kept emphasizing that, and the storyline went nowhere with it.
There's something about that because there's duality to this.
Okay.
Like the whole movie's got dualities to it.
Uh-huh.
Now you had Mary, and she had a husband, but you never saw the husband in the film.
True.
And who's the other one? What was her name?
Well, we understood why Mary was married to a white man, so well, of course we can't see him because she's not supposed to be there because she's hanging out with black people and he don't know that he's married to a black woman. So that makes perfect sense. The other one just don't make no sense.
And Pearlie's husband is absent too. So both these women have absentee husbands. Why?
Well, I just explained the first one don't know she black. So I mean, he don't know that she's hanging out on the black side of town with the black folk. So she's lying to be there. I have no rhyme or reason for the other one. No, somebody need to explain to me why do we need to know she was married at all.
Hey, host, how you doing, man? I just came back from watching it for the second time today.
Very good.
Literally just got back about maybe 45 minutes to an hour ago.
Okay.
That's my second time going to see it. What makes it so interesting to me is I'm a photographer and I service some HBCUs and I service Kahoma College, which is in Clarks in the same town.
Mm-hmm.
So I just found it very interesting, man. If you've never been to the Mississippi Delta, it's a very interesting place to visit. And they still have cotton fields, yes they do.
Okay. What were your overall thoughts on the film?
One of the things, I love the film. I give it an 11 out of 10. That's just me. I love the tie that they made with the music and how music affects us.
Correct.
That was amazing.
Very good. Q, what were your thoughts? And we that was my big topic or the first topic that I discussed. What are your thoughts with regards to music today? Because it seems like you're of the same thought that I am, that music, and I think it was illustrated well in this film, that music does, in essence, carry a spirit that transcends time and religion and race. And it actually holds a spirit or an essence. If you are of that belief, then what are your thoughts with regards to churches nowadays that are simply taking secular beats and laying gospel lyrics on top of them?
Well, I mean, that has been happening since, I would say, since the beginning of the traditional gospel genre of music. You know, one of the issues that most preachers had was that they did not want gospel music to sound too much like blues music, which, you know, if you ever watched the movie Ray, that was the issue that they had with Ray, that it was too close to gospel music.
Right, but Ray took the church to the world. I'm talking about the world walking back into the church. Yes.
Gotcha. I haven't given that much thought, man.
Really?
Now you're gonna have me thinking about that one.
Okay, because the biggest song in the world right now is Where Them Fans At, and I've seen it in multiple churches at this point. And if anybody took the time to listen to the lyrics and just instead of just popping your fans, you do understand that this song is about hitting a woman from the back.
Really?
Yes. Boots on the ground. Yeah, correct. The song is about hitting a woman from my boots on the ground.
Now I'm just as shocked as learning that the electric slide was about
a vibrator. We just talked about that too. Yes. Correct. But boots on the ground is about hitting a woman from the back.
That's something.
But we popping fans to it. Or I mean, Tyrone. Erykah Badu's Tyrone has been turned into a gospel song. Drunken Love by Beyonce has been turned into a gospel song.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Back That Thing Up has been turned into a gospel song.
Not Juvie.
Back the Thing Up. My problem with that is when I hear the beat, regardless of the lyric, that beat is going to pull me back to 1999. That I don't care what lyric you lay on top of it. Back that thing up. That spirit is in that song. I don't care what you lay on top of it. That song belong over there. And I don't have any problem with it because look, I listen to R&B, I listen to some rap, and I listen to gospel, but I don't want bag that thing up in the church in any form. I just in any form. It's just a time and a place. That's the point I'm getting at. And like I say, I love that this film because it hit on that to show, hey, these spirits sit inside this music, and you just can't take those spirits any and everywhere, especially a church.
I want to know who was his musical director, because to bring in an Irish jig.
I loved it.
A black film.
I loved it. It reminded me of Riverdance. If y'all does anybody remember? Yeah, dude. I mean, I remember the commercials that used to play back in the 90s, and you could order the VHS and learn how to do it. Every time I saw him do it, I'm like, oh, I remember that from back. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was
Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah.
Thing on the music. If y'all watch the movie and pay attention. In the early movie is very heavy blues, right? But as the movie progresses, it starts to incorporate darkness. He incorporates the electric guitar, like the scene where the vampires come up, and it's like dun dun. Dun. You know what I'm saying? Like he really tells the story through the music as well.
Yeah.
The entire movie needed the feeling of how things were transforming was done through the blues, the same way that the history of the blues was being transcended in that scene during the juke joint. The music never stopped in that film, and as a musician, I was analyzing this the whole time. You're right about that. I'm sorry to say towards the very last ending credit, and because This Love of Mine is also, even though that's a gospel tune, that is a blues song. It's blues as far as the musical structural element. Right. If I were to break it down like a music scientist, like the whole movie was one big giant blues tune.
Oh yeah, he did a great job. You cannot have a song, a movie about the blues in the Mississippi Delta and not have Kingfish at least show his face once.
He was at the end.
Yeah,
right.
Your thoughts on the vampire Q? I'm going back through the stuff you missed. My thought was that the main vampire was actually a representation of Satan himself. What are your thoughts?
Robert Johnson.
Keep going.
You know who Robert Johnson is?
No.
Robert Johnson is the man who made a pact with the devil. What's his name? Robert Johnson that made a deal with the devil.
Yes, 1941.
Yes.
Where if you is that the one where if you give me the musical gifts, I'll sell my soul?
Yeah, the Crossroads. That happened in Mississippi Delta in Clarksdale.
Okay. And they said they never knew how he passed, but the story was that the husband poisoned him or something. He passed at 27. They say he disappeared for 18 months. Came back because he couldn't really play the guitar. He came back. And when he came back, he was just this big musical person and played the blues. But he sucked before he left. They say he went to the crossroad, made a deal with the devil, came back. He disappeared, came back, and just all of a sudden can play really well.
Now, magically in that film, there was a guitarist who was wanted by Satan. Came back to collect it.
Gotcha.
It was the same thing with the old story of Devil at the Crossroads.
Okay.
At the same time.
I like it.
And if you look it up, he did use that inspired to the movie. He did say that.
I've heard that. Cultural appropriation. Your thoughts? I thought the vampires were a great example of that. Not only do we want access, we want to add hours and change what you're already doing inside. What are your thoughts on that one, Q?
Well, I love the fact that we haven't had a good movie about a black vampire or a movie written about vampires by a black guy since Vampire in Brooklyn. Right. So I think that this guy Coogler is that how you pronounce his name?
Coogler, that's correct.
Man, I'm just waiting on the next project. To be quite honest,
he ain't missed. If you ask me,
what you said?
I said he hasn't missed yet.
Oh no, he hasn't. And I'm gonna tell you who I would love to see him collaborate with. Jordan Peele.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm not a big fan of Jordan Peele.
I'm gonna agree with that too. What was he? Is this the Get Out guy?
Yeah, that's his. I didn't. One hit wonder.
I didn't care that much for Get Out. I know everybody else.
I disagree with you on that one, host. I think Get Out is great, and I think his other movies are not good.
I like this better than Get Out. Get Out was okay to me. It was okay.
Yeah, I think Peele, to me, and this is just my opinion. It's all opinion based, but I think Peele he drinking the Kool-Aid a little too much. As far as like Coogler, that's why I like Coogler.
Wait a minute. So you like Get Out and you didn't like Black Panther?
No, I said Coogler didn't miss in any of his films.
Oh, okay.
I said that I loved Get Out, but all of the other Us and Nope, not fans.
Oh, I did not like Nope at all. I definitely didn't like Nope.
I feel like, and I love Ryan because
Nope, is that the one with the aliens?
Yes.
Oh, I hated that one. That one I hated. It was trash.
I saw some behind the scene footage.
Yeah, it was a letdown.
Directing the dance scene at the juke joint. That guy isn't working. He's having fun.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what I love about the man? He don't code switch, bro. He keeps the same type of tone. He doesn't care about his stutter, and he knows what he's talking about. It's just where he talks like he's from, like where he's from, Oakland, California. You know what I'm saying?
He's not working.
He don't code switch. I feel like Jordan Peele kind of drank the Kool-Aid a little too much after he got the success from Get Out, and that's why I don't connect with his movies. If I'm being honest, they don't hit for me. Just my opinion, though.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on, I gotta go back to.
Coogler is the same. He doesn't switch up.
So you keep leaving out Black Panther though. He's on Black Panther.
Who? Jordan Peele?
Coogler.
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying, host.
He said he loved Coogler.
Yeah, I love Coogler.
You said he fell off after Get Out.
No, that's Jordan Peele.
You talking about Jordan Peele?
Jordan Peele.
So what?
Yeah, I said Jordan Peele fell off after Get Out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Coogler is good in his book.
All right, I'm just making sure. Okay. I'm getting mad. Y'all ain't gonna do Black Panther. I don't care who did it. Black Panther was it. First and second one.
Make it plain and make it clear.
That's it. We're on no confusion.
Yeah, like I said, respectfully, I disagree with you on Get Out. I think Get Out was well executed.
I didn't like it.
I think it was fresh, it was new. But I just think after that, like his movies are just like the storyline is boring. There's nothing interesting. It's kind of like you could predict what's gonna happen. Like Nope, it was so bland.
Nope was so stupid. I'm sorry, that was a stupid movie. It was long and stupid. It was long and stupid. I didn't like that one.
I don't think Ryan Coogler should go to the Peele direction. I think he should stay what he's doing.
And okay, I know y'all are giving this a 11. I'm gonna give it a solid 8 because I've already given my 2 critiques. I felt like although I liked how he introduced the characters, we spent way too much time building this juke joint. In my opinion, I think that could have been compressed down about half hour. We spent an entire hour building the juke joint. I think that could have been pushed down some. And the other critique is with regards to the vampires and how they forced that fight, where there were opportunities to create a lot more tension, where the fight would have made a whole lot more sense than one character just getting out of hand and now everybody has to fight for their life. And as we've alluded to, actual vampires, nobody in there would have stood a chance.
Yeah, not at all.
Those are my. Go ahead.
He writes his scenes backwards. he create the incident, the confrontation, and then he write what will bring it up to that confrontation. Does that make any sense?
Yep. It felt that
was designed.
It felt that way. It felt very forced. It did not feel natural at all. It did not feel like a natural progression. It was, hey, we spent all this time building the juju joint. We got to fight. We got to find a reason. You know what I mean? I was cool with the fight scene. It was just unrealistic. That's just no.
Now, if I had to critique the film, as I said, I give the film an 11 out of 10.
It's getting an 8. Go ahead with your 11, please.
They gave it a 9.257. My only issue with the film was that the blood looked like hot sauce.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't even mind that. Okay, Q. Can you? And I don't like plot holes. Can you explain to me why is it that the black woman that came in the club? Why did we keep emphasizing that she was married? Why do we need to know that?
Because
Hush, Crystal. Go Q.
I don't know, because she actually could have been that character without having a husband.
Thank you, Q. That is my point. She was sinning when she pulled that dress up and slept with this man unmarried in the juke joint. We did not need to know that she was married. It was unnecessary. And for the fact that you said it 2 or 3 times, I'm like, okay, husband gonna pop up at some point. It's got to be a reason. It's got to be a reason why we got to know. Maybe the husband gonna be one of the vampires. I don't know. Sum up. But it went nowhere. It made me mad.
I think because he went back to the Robert Johnson character.
What?
Now, I'll tell you, I love the mention of Maun Bayou.
Okay.
Maun Bayou was a black city that they didn't want white people in there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Right. I remember that.
But Maun Bayou is an actual place. Actually, the guy who was the architect of the town was actually the son of a slave of Jefferson Davis. But it was a thriving town, man, and they did not. If you associated with white folks, don't come back there.
Okay.
That's what I know about Maun Bayou. I know about Maun Bayou prior to this movie, but I like that they mentioned it.
Cool. Okay, Q, let's talk about race and racism and a little bit of colorism and passing. All that was encompassed in this film. What are your thoughts with regards to the race relations throughout this thing?
It was fitting for the time. Mm-hmm. It was fitting for the area. Mm-hmm. I think had they had that setting in Missouri, would have been out of place. If they would have had it in Illinois, it probably would have been out of place. Mm-hmm. I think where they had it at in the Deep South, where the Klan ran rampant, and people were conscious about race, I think it was very fitting.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that are critiquing the film, especially for the fact that he unalived a bunch of Klansmen at the end. That this is an elaborate film of black victimhood. That's the way. That's a lot of critique on the film. Of course, I vehemently disagree with it, but I'd like to know what you guys think about that. As a critique for this film.
So somebody want to see some Sun Dodgers on the line.
And they're African American. I've done a video. Rob Smith, if you ever bumped into him, he was one of the loudest voices of it, and he's black, black Republican, and in the rainbow community. And I almost got beat up at a Trump rally, but that's another story for another day. Yeah.
That's what we call them in South Louisiana, Sun Dodgers.
Yes, Sun Dodgers. I like that. Yeah, but that is a big critique that people are getting. Again, it was all fitting. It was all fitting to me. And again, he didn't just take these people's lives just to take them. He understood that by the end of this film that it was their purpose in selling this to him. They were going to keep the money. They were going to keep the land. They were going to keep this club they built, and they were going to turn this into a giant slaughterhouse. He told them, once I own this land, do not come back on this land or I will take your life. And he followed through with it.
Well, I mean, that was a very popular thing in the South. Whereas, you know, before the evolution of what we have now, we've all heard the stories about Black people owning property and then somebody come and take that land from them.
Yeah.
Namely the city or the county or the parish. But yeah, so that was a milestone in that movie of something that has actually taken place.
Absolutely.
Somebody has on YouTube Sinners Explained. And they actually break down the film. Many of the characters were actual people. They just sensationalized them for the purpose of the film.
Oh.
But it's called Sinners Explained on YouTube.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Let's not forget that one of the white Spurs vampires, peeped everyone to the game that the Klan was going to come back in the early mornings and unalive everybody at the club.
Mm-hmm.
So is it fitting that happened to them outside of the club? And isn't it even more fitting that Stack and Mary were hiding inside the club during the daylight?
Very good points.
Wow.
Very, very good points. Very, very, very good ones. I mean, it was good. Okay, let's talk about the first ending post scene where we fast forward and the nephew has grown up and he's now a famous blues singer, obviously. And in comes two of the vampires. What were you guys' impressions of that scene? I was not prepared for that one.
It was needed.
Was it?
It was needed.
Please elaborate.
I was a little confused until I heard how you explained it at the end, how the main vampire was the leader, and it's kind of like, I mean, we don't know, but it's kind of like Smoke and Mary. They still had a little bit of
Stacks and Mary.
Oh, my bad, Stacks and Mary. They still had a little bit of humanness in them because they could have took him out if they wanted. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And even at the last scene, they just kind of let him be.
Yeah.
They just let him go, let him live his life.
Well, not just that, but
he promised him.
He promised his brother. Yeah.
Yeah, but you encountered a man who was okay with dying. He was okay with ending his life the natural way. Someone offered him the opportunity to stay alive.
True.
That is true. Because he did say, I could smell the end.
Yeah, you're on your way out. He did say that.
Dang.
He did.
Film, man.
So, okay. How did Mary survive? I was confused. That piece, I don't know how I missed it. I thought she burned with the rest of the vampires. How did
they went off together?
So where were they at the end of the fight when all the other vampires were standing?
Okay, so the thing is when Smoke got Annie, Stacks grabbed Mary and ran her out. Right?
They ran out together.
I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah, because remember Mary ran towards Annie when Smoke, did what he did.
Okay.
And then Stacks grabbed Mary and moved her out. Like he literally got her out. Okay. And then that's when he came back and them two were fighting. Like Smoke and Stacks was. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that piece, but I didn't remember her. Like I say, I just assumed she had burned with the rest of the vampires. I was surprised to see her.
You have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and see that. I missed that piece. I don't know how.
Yeah, he got her and ran out with her. Well, host,
do y'all remember?
All night, man. I will be up all night talking about this with you. I gotta get some sleep. Hey guys, y'all have a good one.
All right.
I have to drop down, but I already gave you a follow. Good. Y'all have a good one.
All right. See you next time.
Did y'all remember how Rimmy's reaction to Annie's Annie being taken out before she turned? Rimmick was upset too. It wasn't just Stack and Smoke. He was upset about it.
Yeah. But I think who said that he was upset because he would lose access to.
I did.
Okay. Yeah, he was definitely upset along with the rest. Yeah, they all, like I say, all of them wanted whatever that connection was or whatever she had. So yeah, I can. You're right about that. He definitely showed empathy right along with the rest of them. That is true. Very, very true. All right. The blue and red. Do we have to explain that, or everybody understood the color? I mean, I thought they did a pretty good job of explaining the colors of the brothers. Yes, no.
Something like that.
Did you understand the meaning behind the blue and the red?
Not necessarily, but
All right. Okay, well the blue is I can't remember what indigo. It's meant to ward off evil spirits and it's tied directly to the I don't want to say voodoo or hoodoo because I don't actually know the difference. I know there is a difference, but I don't know which one is which. But it's tied to that. So that was the purpose in him be sporting the blue the entire time, and red, of course, is fiery and vibrant, which their personalities also match the colors. So very simple concepts, but yeah, nonetheless, that was very, very intentional for both those characters.
You know what's interesting though about that?
What's that?
That's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that because the brothers, one of them had been in the war,
mm-hmm.
and if you look at if you look at Smoke,
yep, it was Smoke.
Well, Smoke was always coming off as being like the more passive one, but he was the actual warrior, whereas Stack, he wore the red, and then he ended up getting turned by the creature with red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And he was actually more passive until he got turned.
No, wasn't he the one that shot them two men at the beginning of the film?
No, that was Smoke.
Which one is Smoke, blue or red? Because it was kind of hard to differentiate the two.
Blue.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Okay. I can't argue on that one. Okay. But in the end, the personalities match the colors then. Because once he turned, he was good and evil and good and mean and good. The red was very fitting. And then the blue, ultimately, he became very centered, and that's the one that ended up going to heaven with the wife. And we assume he went to hell. The red. Right?
You can't really say he went to hell. He's still on earth.
I mean, but your soul is with the devil. You're definitely in hell. Because how can you save a soul that's already been taken? Right? Maybe.
I mean, she said in the movie, when the person dies and the soul has nowhere else to go. So the soul is trapped in the body.
So
that's what she said.
So when the
I'm just going based off what the movie said.
So when the vampire is vanquished, then your soul is free to return to wherever it wants to go. Is that what we're supposed to interpret from it?
I'm just going based off what the movie said.
Okay. Well,
he kind of explained it. She explained it in the movie. That's what I'm just.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but again, I guess I'm bringing in my other vampire lore into it. And once those souls belong or are taken over by the vampires, you're damned to hell. Hence, Queen of the Damned. But
right.
but
and like no, because at first when I saw it, that's what I thought too.
mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, okay, hold on,
It's really good, Tiger Pump.
Everything that I've learned and focus on this movie in particular.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to kind of X out all of the other vampire movies I've seen.
Yeah.
And focus on,
And I think that's fair. That's more than fair. I think that's a very fair assessment. But it's hard. It's very hard for me to pull all that away. And you had to suspend a lot of it because they and that was my other critique. They really did like Vampire 101. You know what I mean? That's like we've learned so much about vampire world and lore over the years. I just thought that the vampires were going to be a little bit more sophisticated than garlic and silver and you know what I mean. I expected them to be a little bit more sophisticated than that.
And that's another thing too, because silver really don't kill vampires. It's werewolves. But hey,
right,
like silver kills werewolves. But again, I just took the movie for what it was.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not going to take anything away from it. I thought it was an excellent film overall. I'm going to give it a good solid 8.5 out of 10. I can't say 11 out of 10, but yeah, it definitely gets an 8.5 for me. Outside of the couple of little small critiques I had about it, I thought it was a well executed, definitely well shot film. The character development was pretty good, with the exception of that one character that was married for no reason. And well, no, not in the film. The film it added nothing to the plot line, so she was literally married for no reason in this plot.
Have to add something to the plot.
Yes, that the good story.
You want the husband to come, right?
He would have to show up in order as a reason for you to continue to tell us that she's married. That to me, that's just good storytelling. There's no point in bringing in a character that we're not going to that's not going to add anything to the value of the film.
I mean, because it's supposed to be it's supposed to be a part 2 to it.
How did you come up with that?
There's a whole series, yeah. Easy. I've seen a recording of it. They've got a whole 7-part series of movies coming out in the next 3 years.
7 movies.
29.
7 movies. I don't know. I don't know. Yep. I don't know if they can pull that off 7 times. I don't know about that. Like I said,
just think of Underworld. Series.
I just feel like that some things should just be left alone. Like Saw, I watched all 10 Saws, waiting on number 11, but I know I'm only watching it just because they never topped the first Saw. Never. It never got as good as the first one. Yeah, exactly. Or match it. I think the problem I have with it, especially big budget films, Saw, the very first original Saw, was so good was because it was made on such a small budget. So they had to be creative. Mm-hmm. The bigger your budget gets, to me, it seems sometimes, I'm not saying all directors, but things just tend to get a little lazy or redundant.
Like they come out with a Final Destination.
Like Avatar. I love the first Avatar. Waited all those years for the second one and was sorely disappointed. I'm going to see the third one at the end of this year, but I'm not going in with any expectations. I'm only watching it just based on how good I felt the very first time, because the second one sucked. It was not good.
Music in movies very often are really degraded by industry executives and executive producers. But I think what the difference here is, Coogler has retained full creative rights.
I saw that.
Films.
I saw that.
So his entire like we're sitting there talking about the different layers of this film. He's gonna unpack the layers of this film and different films.
Okay.
It's going to be like a term paper.
So are we going?
This movie was a thesis, and
So
he's going to break down different parts of the film through other films as it goes through.
So are we expecting more of the same, or are we going to move forward in time, or is it going to have a different? You know what I mean? A different.
There going to be different eras. It's going to be an era that's set in the 90s.
Okay.
An era that's set in the 2000s.
Okay.
So it's probably going to be. I guess the reason why it's going to be compacted to 3 years, they have to make sure that these eternal beings, Stack and Mary, they're probably going to be a certain focus point in these films. They have to go through these different eras. Remember, at the end, they were in the 90s because he had that
Coogi sweater. Yeah.
Right. So they're going to go through these different eras and deal with how these different concepts, probably the same way that they made the musical connection through it, they're probably going to make those connections in more detail in different films.
Okay, I'd be here for a part 2, but I'm gonna be giving a good strong side eye. It better be good. Please don't mess this up. That's all I can say. Just don't mess it up. Don't mess up a good thing. This was very, very well done. I loved it as a period piece. Again, it did kind of remind me of Color Purple at times. Just the whole juke joint scene and the time frame. So I thought it was very well done. Overall, no real complaints here, and I will be looking forward to part 2. Have they given a potential release date for a next part?
I think it's 26.
Oh, so we not playing any games. We right away, and so we are to assume that him and the girl are going to be in every one of them. And we're just speculating now.
I have no clue.
I would assume. Yeah, I would assume so.
Okay. And they're vampires, so it's not like they can have children or anything.
I was just going to say that.
Hey, you never know.
Vampires cannot have children.
Edward did.
Who is Edward?
You never seen Twilight?
Oh, I've seen them, but I don't remember them. And they did have a baby, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
I remember them.
But she was mortal before she was vampire.
True.
She had that baby as a mortal, and then they turned her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's already unalive, so that's not an option here. So they're gonna be childless unless they do like.
I think they'll somehow have a child.
Or it'll be like Claudia, where they just turn a baby, like they did in Interviewing a Vampire, just turn a child and make it their baby. That would be fun. I hate how they did Claudia in Interview with a Vampire. You guys should check it out. It's a really good series. It's on AMC. They're getting ready. They won't be coming back with season 3 until 2026, and it will be Queen of the Damned. Ellis, who do you think should be Queen of the Damned? I'm holding my breath. Aaliyah, I think she did such.
I can't see anybody else except for Aaliyah as Queen of the Damned. Like
she embodied
that role. I don't even think I would watch it.
I gotta watch it, but Aaliyah was so great. She was ethereal, but she was scary at the same time. She was sexy, but you knew not to play with her. I mean, she was everything in that film. Like I say, it wasn't the best. What's that?
Stop. You are bold like your music.
I loved it. No, I like this. Join me or die. That was my part. It was.
Those who are really into vampire lore, what I want to know is, as I think about this movie is a period piece and a social commentary.
Yeah.
And so, why do you think Ryan chose the vampire vehicle to portray these concepts?
Agreed.
What is it about what vampire movies historically represent
Good.
that he wanted to use to convey these ideas?
Good question. Because in all honesty, I think we could have stayed in the church and had the same film minus the vampire with regards to Satan and being possessed and that kind of thing. To me, it could have been the film could have been just as good with that as a running theme. Although I enjoyed the vampires, I don't know how to answer that one. That's a really good one.
But he's so intentional. There had to be a symbolical reason why he picked vampire movies.
Thor, you want to try it?
Try what?
Answering the question.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Lord have mercy, I know it's time.
It is. So my question was, historically in the lore of vampire movies, there vampires have there's a theme and a concept to their existence, and my question was, being that Sinners is a period piece and a social commentary, why do you think he chose to use vampires as the vehicle for these ideas? Because he could have used a lot of different concepts, but why did he choose vampires? Because he's very specific about how we use this theme in imagery. So there has to be a reason why.
I don't know.
I think you have stumped the crowd. Crystal, Africa, either you have any thoughts on that? Because I don't. I have no clue.
No. Well, I've been watching his interviews. Hopefully someone asks him that question.
It's a good question.
No one has never asked him that question. Well, since the interviews I've been watching.
I have no answer. I have no answer for that. None whatsoever. It was good though. Very good. But like I said, very good vehicle for doing it. It was very well done. That's all I got on that. All right, folks, it is 1:12 a.m. where I am, and I am sleepy and well past my time. So we're going to do what I normally do and wrap this show until next Friday. I'm only live on Fridays, 8:30 Central Standard Time until midnight, although this show is run to 1 a.m. I give each of my panelists 1 minute to give their final thoughts on the show. You can talk about any part of the show or leave us with something to think on. As we wrap for the night and continue on with the weekend. We'll start with you, Miss Crystal. What are your final thoughts?
Good movie. I think I want to go see it again. We'll have somebody want me to go with them. So I'm gonna go see it again.
I would love to, but my family is not into horror or vampires, and I don't want to see.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, I don't want to see it by myself again, so I'll just wait for it to come on. I actually am. I bought The Woman in the Yard. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Has anybody seen that one?
No.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I bought it. It's available for streaming now. I spent $25 on it. I'm hoping it's a good movie. I like a good scary, good horror film, and I think this it's got some pretty good reviews on it. So I'm gonna try it out and see how it goes.
I have to try it.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. All right, Thor, give me your final thoughts.
You can't buy love, but you can rent it for 3 minutes.
Only 3 minutes.
I mean, you want to go 5?
It's
gonna cost you more.
Marky, stop
I was joking. You never seen Deadpool?
Oh, I've seen a few of them. The last one I watched was him with Wolverine, and I did not like it. It was not great.
Yeah, Deadpool was the movie.
I didn't think it was that great.
No, but let's see. Final thoughts. Succeed today because tomorrow is not promised.
Okay, praise God. Ellis, final thoughts. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hope to see you again in a future show.
The theme of dualities in this whole film is really constant. But a deep part of looking at the blues is that, and just studying from some great master musicians that were connected with the Marcellus family. I'm not familiar with Marcellus, but like I meant that line of succession of musicians. The blues, when you look at how it's played and how the chords progress from one to the other, they represent the gospel. That you could have one chord that has this tension and this issue, but is beautiful still. And even when it resolves and it goes to the next chord, though it feels stable, there's still issues and problems in it. Just like Jacob had a limp after his time wrestling with an angel. The duality of the blues and the duality of this movie is all kind of tied in, and it's woven together in a masterful way by this composer. It was very intentional. And like the more we're talking about these themes, the more I'm thinking about how the blues structurally works as a musician, the more I see how all of this stuff was laid out the same way. It's all following similar timelines. It's really cool. I when you break it down, it's you can really nerd out to this.
I like it. I like it. All right, Miss Africa, I do believe it is your time. Give me those final thoughts.
Final thought is, one, you started late, so don't be charging us for your lateness. But anyway, I have not seen the movie, but I do plan on checking it out this weekend.
Please do.
But from what I've been able to hear with you guys, which I thoroughly enjoyed listening to, so it did not ruin it for me. I'm gonna stick with the musical aspects of what we discussed and that I can speak on, and that is to leave secular with secular and gospel with gospel, because at the end of the day, I don't have time to pop rock to drop it to "The Lord Is My Shepherd" with the Uptown beat.
I love it. Or "Drop It Low for Jesus." Do y'all remember that one? I did, and that song sounded so good. I used it in maybe 2 videos, but I'm like, this song sounds so good, but this is complete blasphemy. But yeah, I'm with you all on that.
Want to be made an example out of, because I do believe he'll get me, and I ain't got time.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Listen, my final thought is very simple tonight. Do not invite them in. Do not invite them into your hearts or your spirits. Yeah, don't invite them in. You know what I mean? The mind is the devil's playground. So try to keep yourself occupied. Keep yourself grounded in God, because I do understand the spirits do travel and walk this earth, and they do attack the weak. People that are often possessed by real demons are always attacked when they are at their weakest spiritually. So try to keep yourself built up so that you won't end up on the wrong side of this. We are no saints. We are all sinners. So please ignore the people that are saying that this film is too much for your good Christian ears. If you can watch Medea prance around in a dress, then surely you can watch this. And if a film is enough to make you change God or question your faith, then you weren't much of a Christian to begin with. Those are my thoughts. With that, thank you all for being here tonight. I want you to join me again on YouTube or TikTok, 8:30 Central Standard Time until midnight. In the meantime, if you want to know what I'm going to be talking about next week, all you got to do is follow my TikToks throughout the week. I only put out maybe 3 or 4 a week, but 90% of them are going to be relevant to whatever we're going to be discussing. The rest of them are either about fun, faith, family. We do a lot, or my hot takes on some of these situations that we have going on, including this man. I wish you would have talked about him, the musty man. Did anybody see that video? Africa, did you see that video?
No, I'm not gonna find it.
You gotta find it. There's a guy on my page right now that is attempting to convince the world that men should not take showers every day because women enjoy the musty smell of men. I am not He says that women have.
A woman who is used to smelling her own food. Got to be.
He said that. For anybody that missed the show tonight, it's all on YouTube, so you can go back and watch it on YouTube. Same username, Faith and Bishop 2. Don't have to remember it. You can just go to the top of my page and hit the link. It'll take you over. Hit the subscribe button over there. I'm live in both places. And when you don't see me here on Fridays, that's where I am. I'm in both places tonight. But yeah. You guys have got to go check that video out. But yeah, he says that women have an open wound, and that's why they have to bathe every day. And I don't know how you confuse a vagina with an open wound, but
whatever.
Yeah, neither here nor there. He says that the essence of a man is exuded through the musk, and it turns a woman on, and that's why men shouldn't shower every day. This is a grown man. I'm pretty sure you got skid marks. I am 100% sure you got skid marks, because ain't no way. Go ahead.
Did we ever do the Canal Street review?
This should have been the Canal Street show, but Sinners took over. And I was tired. I had done how many shows had we done on that? I was tired.
We hadn't done Canal Street.
I know, but how many shows did we have to dedicate to Carmelo Anthony and
we wasn't really dedicating. It was just a discussion of what it was like. That it was like back in 2015, and here we are looking at it in real time 10 years.
I mean, if you want to go over it, we can. But
don't worry about it. I'll try about it.
Did you see that film Ellis? Canal Street. It's on Prime. You can watch it for free if you have Prime. I'm about to lose my voice. I know I got to get up off here, so I won't end up losing my voice for 3 more days. But Canal Street, check it out. It's basically very relevant to the Carmelo Anthony situation and what's the other guy? Metcalf. Austin Metcalf. Basically the same situation. A black kid supposedly unalives a white kid, and the entire story unfolds. Although there's a couple of twists and turns in the story, I thought it was well done, and it was we were supposed to review it on the YouTube side, but we didn't get around to it, and this took precedence. So we may revisit it in the future. So check it out if you haven't already. So with that, I'm going to end. I'll see you guys on next Friday, 8:30 Central Standard Time. Love you. Have a good weekend. All righty, people. Oh, I guess I gotta look up here. I want to thank you all for joining me on. Oh, let me put my headset back on. I'm getting sleepy now, folks. Oh, let me get my mic. Oh, we're muted. Okay, folks, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I got a couple of people still sitting over here on YouTube. Please acknowledge yourself. Give me your name so I can shout you out before I leave tonight. I want to thank you all for joining me. For anybody that's catching me on the replay, please like, share, subscribe. I want to see you guys. I'm looking in the wrong spot. I apologize. Yes, I'm here each and every Friday night, 8:30 Central Standard Time until midnight or later. I'm trying to get these numbers moving on the YouTube side, so I found a bootleg, I won't say ingenious way of being able to operate in both places at the same time. It seems to be working for me, so I'm proud of that. I thank you all. We're past the 6,000 subscriber mark, so I'm so excited about it and everything that I plan on bringing to the YouTube side of things. I'm going to be producing some longer form content. A lot of my shorts make it over here. Again, YouTube is really funny about music, which is why a lot of my TikToks don't make it over here, but a lot of my other original content and my hot takes on, various situations that occur and things that are trending do make their way over to the YouTube side eventually. So please go out and support that thing. Let me know, you know what I'm saying, what you guys would like to see from me, any topics that you want me to discuss. any films that you guys want to go over and review and watch. I want to try to start doing at least one movie review, 1 or 2 a month, because I'm a movie buff. I love watching films and critiquing them and picking them apart and talking about the things and nuances, just like we did tonight with the with Sinners. Again, we as a people don't get a lot of opportunities to have big budget films, original films that do extraordinarily well. And I'm not saying to go watch this film just because it's a black film. I want you to watch this film because it's a great film. It's just an absolute wonder. Again, I give it about an 8.5 out of 10. A couple of critiques here and there, but overall, it was a fantastic watch. So please go out and support it so that we can get more opportunities where, we could have a black ensemble or a mainly black cast that's leading the way. I would love to see this one make it to the Academy Awards. You know what I mean? For Michael B. and the director as well. So that's my hope. You know what I mean? To see more greatness. You know what I mean? I'm so sick of recycled films. It's so good to finally see something brand spanking new. You know what I mean? So I certainly appreciate it. I thank you all for being with me tonight. I put these things up pretty raw. I guess at some point I'll go in and start editing them. There's nothing to edit here because the entire show was basically one subject, which is what I like to see. So please hit that subscribe button over here on YouTube and become part of my YouTube family. I'm Marquise. I'm always running my mouth. I call myself the Motor Mouth. But I call the show Unfinished Business because we never quite finish up what we're going to talk about. So we have to come back each and every week to handle it. So if you enjoyed what you saw, please, once again, hit that subscribe button. Let me know that I'm out. Let a couple friends know that I'm out here, that I'm doing some big things. So please subscribe to me. If you're commenting on my stuff, I try my best to comment back. And I love what I do. You know what I mean? This is a hobby. I would love for it to be my life full time, but unfortunately at this point it is not. But I give my best each and every time that I show up here. So please enjoy it. Let me know that you guys are watching those replays and that you're enjoying what you're seeing. I'm trying to improve the quality with each and every show. So if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments, or you can even email me at Faith and Bishop. faithandbishop2 at gmail.com. I think that's right. Or faithandbishop 2012 at yahoo.com. I'm sorry. My brain is starting to shut down. It's super late for me. So I thank you all. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing. For the guests that stayed all night, thank you so much. I don't see your name, but I certainly appreciate you. I thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up while you're in the room. And I will see you guys on next week. I'm only live on Friday nights, 8:30 Central Standard Time. And I will see you guys on next week. Until then, be blessed. Hug on somebody. And do not invite vampires across your threshold. Keep you some garlic in the cabinet. I know I do. See you guys. Have a good one.